What's up? Good Monday. What's going on?
I'm so ready to sports.
Oh, dude, what a week.
I don't even know where to go.
What do we do?
I got Lions and Ravens right now. I got
You
my
do.
fighting Dan Campbell's.
What do we do?
I don't know. Look at golf supporting the Tigers. We didn't get into baseball. The Tigers are in the midst of a epic collapse of Mets proportions.
Why did you say we didn't get into the show literally just started.
Well, I understand, but baseball is probably not where we're going to start.
Oh, no, we won't start there.
No.
But it's in the notes.
Yeah.
Including the Tigers collapse.
Yeah.
Great
All
minds
kinds
think
of
alike.
Historic almost.
Mariners are sweeping people. Could be the 2 seed. I'd like to point out the Mets are no longer back. We were back and then we weren't back and now we're no longer back. So a lot of stuff happening.
If the Guardians
Yeah.
win the Central, it actually is a historic comeback.
15, right?
15 and a half.
Yeah.
Well, they were down.
Yeah.
They were behind. They were trailing.
And it's like 12 and a half in less than a month.
And
Yeah.
It's crazy.
they sold at the deadline. 2 pitchers, by the way, suspended due to gambling investigations. And here they are.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
I mean, for a while, the Tigers had the best record in
God.
baseball.
I love sports.
Sports. I told you I was ready to sports.
Well, it's big. We had a big weekend, and Mondays we cover the weekend.
Yeah.
And we will do that. Don't you worry.
Mm-hmm.
But this week, oh my God, I can't begin to tell you how great this week is.
Yeah.
For everyone on Earth.
It's got a little something for everybody.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, it's got a lot for us because it's only a 4-day work week
Yeah.
for us. Because the Seahawks play on Thursday.
No show Thursday. I mean, it's catching on. People are
So,
talking about it.
We won't be here on Thursday.
No.
So Dan Lanning will be on Friday.
Yeah.
Never.
Never
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we have a 4-day work week.
Mm-hmm.
It is our anniversary week. I don't know if you know that.
Mm-hmm.
September 25th,
Which
2005.
but also your anniversary.
Well, September 25th, 2005.
Yeah.
You and I
Yes.
signed on the dotted line
Sweet, sweet radio love.
to be radio lovers.
Yes.
And here we are 20 years later. Big anniversary.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes
then
when we
touch. Do you know who that is?
the young Dan Fogelberg. Come on.
Yes,
It
the
just-
great
I'm insulted that
The
you just
great
asked who that is.
Dan Fogelberg. Buck wouldn't know who that is. Do you know who
I
Dan
know of Dan Fogelberg. I could not tell you any of his
Run
works.
for the Roses? Or, yeah, right? Run for the Roses?
Yeah, that's Fogelberg.
Anyway, 2009, September 25th, I signed on the dotted line with my lovely bride.
Yes.
Otherwise known as Nurse Nice.
Mhm.
So September 25th carries it's a big date in our house.
And yet I'm not getting the invite to dinner, which I'm
No.
still somewhat offended about.
I still really want that to happen.
Yeah.
The double anniversary dinner.
He will not tell me where they're going, because if he did, there was a better than average chance that I just pull up with that chair and I'm like, hey, celebrate,
Well,
let's
Anniversary
go.
crasher. Let's go.
I mean, I wouldn't, if you did that, whatever. She might be mad, but I won't be.
She'll get over it.
Like,
She'll
we'll
be
talk
fine.
sports the whole
Nurse
time.
Nice loves me. She'll
We'll
be
do a
fine.
show for her.
Hot. I just want to sit down and be like, well, you know what? I got some hot sports takes that I just couldn't wait till tomorrow, and we need to get some of these in.
So that's this week. That's
Yeah.
Thursday. And we're off that day.
Yes.
Coincidentally, due
Yeah.
to the Seahawks. But it is also Ryder Cup week.
Yep.
It is the final week of the Major League Baseball season.
Mm-hmm.
It is Oregon-Penn State week.
Yes, it is.
It is Washington-Ohio State week.
You got Bama, Georgia, if you're not into the West
It
Coast
is
thing.
Alabama-Georgia week.
Yeah.
I mean,
You even get Micah Parsons' return to Dallas on
yeah,
Sunday.
Green Bay. It is Arizona-Iowa State week.
Yes. Hey, USC is currently undefeated and quietly the number 1 offense in the country.
You know what their week is?
Yeah, they've got Illinois,
Illinois.
which some of the shine has come off of that. But
Illinois. Yeah.
Signetti came in and whooped that
Whoa.
look, I'm not
Our
gonna lie.
Fighting Illini got smoked.
Yeah, I've been
Whoa.
trying to pound the Indiana Paper Tiger because I hate the way they scheduled, but
I think they're listening to you and you're pissing them off.
yeah, sorry,
ass.
sorry,
Playing
Kurt.
suit clips in the locker room before the game.
Listen to this guy. Listen to this blowhard.
Portland jackwagon.
He's in Portland.
That was one of those. I was watching that about 10 minutes in. I was like, yeah.
Hippie.
Might have missed that one.
That whole Indiana might be better than last year. Yeah, that might be true.
Yeah, so I mean it's just a huge week here.
Yes.
And we're very excited about that. But as I mentioned, we must cover the weekend that was.
Yes.
Yes.
And we get a great
Sport.
with cherry on top because Monday
We do.
night, dude, Ravens, Lions, one of these teams going to 1-2.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Oh yeah, they're both 1-1, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh, big game.
Huge game.
Suddenly.
Yeah.
Well, that's great too.
Mhm.
I mean, what can we add?
I don't know.
You know?
Bruce Pearl stepping away for maybe a run at Senate so his kid can have the Auburn job.
Oh yeah, that's true. That kind of snuck up on me today. I was like, Bruce Pearl's
Yeah,
retiring.
Yeah, he retired today.
Yeah.
I didn't care about that.
No, not really. But
You know?
Well, you asked what else could there be,
Yeah.
and that's all.
That is a big news story today.
Mhm.
But I doubt that was going to be covered here.
Hmm.
Unless Buck brought it up, which he did. So now let's talk about it. Let's take calls. Who should
Bruce,
be the next coach?
Sweaty ass. Well, we do know who the coach is.
Well, the
It's-
kid.
his
but
kid.
He'll get fired.
who
2
was in
years.
medical sales not 8 years ago.
Yeah. Like I said, give him 2 years, maybe 3. He's out of there.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Well, I like the. What do they call it?
He's only 38.
Oh, when you. God, why can't I think of it all of a sudden?
Nepotism?
Yeah, nepotism. Like, what's the point of
Yeah.
being a Hall of Fame coach if you can't force your kid down someone's throat? Bill Belichick's going to try that, and it's not working out so well. Whoops.
Well, anyway, we got the Civil War to talk about, the 129th version.
I will tell you, in my lifetime,
Quite boring.
I'm not certain if I've ever seen, this is a 1-of-1, a score that was 41-7, like 150 yards to 600 yards, and yet somehow a segment of each fan base is trying to make it out like the team that had 600 yards and 41 points somehow wasn't very good, and the team that had 150 yards and 7 points, somehow you can build upon that, and that there's like positives. That is a,
Well,
you want to talk about sprinkling bark dust? I look, you're like, hey,
I mean, you know.
yeah, that's 150 yards.
Well, they had one nice drive.
One.
Yeah.
One.
It's more than 0.
That's true.
And it was against a very good football team.
It was.
So
I just, narratives to me are, I love when you can hijack a narrative and just make it your own. And both sides have kind of hijacked it, where it's like, oh, I don't really like the way the Ducks looked. And hey, Trent Bray came out and was like, we showed you what we can be. What? You showed
well, in the
us what
first 7 minutes, 8, 9 minutes,
It is
they
odd.
kind of did.
I came away with more respect for Oregon
I
State
did
after the
too.
loss, despite losing by 34.
I did
I thought
too.
it was going to be 68.
Yeah.
The bar was set so
Dude,
It
low.
was so
Seriously.
low. I
The
was
bar
impressed
was-
by them. Seriously.
This is one of those, I told you, the bar was set so low that Oregon State tripped and fell, and they were like,
I
they
think
cleared the bar.
I feel like a lot of Oregon State fans are thinking that today.
Yeah.
They're looking at that going, you know what?
Good fight.
I mean, you know, schedule gets easier. Played 2 really good teams, Texas Tech and Oregon, and, you know, kind of encouraged.
Oh, boy.
I
Well,
mean, what else do you want them to hang their hat on? Not their kicking game.
well, hey, it was better. It's better.
Well, look, I want you to power rank Oregon's 4 games in order of Borefest.
Oh,
Because they've all been bores.
yes. There has not been one that has any sort of
I mean, what
drama.
has been their most interesting game so far? The least boring. How about that?
Probably Oklahoma State, simply because it was just like,
Just an back
yeah,
alley whip.
like every time you looked up, someone was running for another like 40-yard touchdown, and then like 2 pick sixes, and it would have been that just from the raw, like, what the hell is this? By the way, who had Oklahoma State arguably in the worst team in the Power 4? Like, I know that they weren't expected to be good, but my God, they stink. So I'd say Oklahoma State,
Least boring?
least boring, and then I'll probably go Northwestern, Oregon State, Montana State.
Yeah, Northwestern was probably, I think Northwestern was their least boring.
Yeah, Northwestern actually,
A decent game.
yeah, you know, early on, Northwestern was moving the ball a little bit, and I mean, Oregon State, yeah, the one drive, which was nice.
I mean, first quarter,
The first quarter, yeah, the
didn't
one.
we all have kind of that thought of like,
I
what
even
if?
tweeted.
Yeah.
I even tweeted. I said, hey,
Whoa.
I said, for all the S that Oregon State has taken, and a lot of it from me, and by the way, all rightfully deserved, they showed up, and they didn't have to. I mean, I do think that there says something that you don't walk out. You knew. I've been in games like that where you're like, God, here it goes. Like, I'm just about to get my teeth kicked in. And there wasn't a woe is me sort of mentality. And they came out, and I appreciated that there was a fight. And you're sitting there 7-7, and I said, well, damn it, rivalry games matter. Funky stuff happens. Maybe they can find a way to muck this up. And I Dante Moore had some overthrows. By the way, I think that was the reason why Oregon wasn't converting. He was a little jazzed up, and was just not very accurate with the ball early on. And then after that drive, I don't think Oregon State had a first down after that, the second drive they had, because they went 3 and out the first one at like 2 yards. Went on that nice 10, 11 play drive, scored the touchdown. I don't think they had another first down until like midway through the fourth quarter. So to say that you played a good half, no, you played a good series.
It's a good opponent they're playing out there.
It was a good opponent.
So that's probably all we need to talk about with that game, don't you think?
Well, I mean, it goes back to from now, like this is where honestly the season starts for both teams. For Oregon, you will learn more in one half at Penn State than you did in the 4 previous games. And by the way, all of a sudden the game after Penn State, this is Penn State's a better team than Indiana, right? Top to bottom. But if you want to know where Oregon's defense is going to be challenged more, I have seen very little of Indiana, although I did watch most of that game. I have watched every snap that Penn State has played this year of meaningful football. Indiana will test Oregon's defense more than Penn State's. Or Indiana's offense will test Oregon's defense, I should say, more than Penn State's. You say what you will about Indiana, and I hate the way they schedule, and I think their coach is kind of a blowhard. Dude, that guy knows how to coach, and they have an offensive scheme that stretches you sideline to sideline, end zone to end zone, and they have some really good concepts, and they put a lot of pressure on you. And Oregon has had some breakdowns in coverage in the secondary. It is a very young secondary, one of the youngest in the country, and Indiana is going to test you. So we don't just get Penn State. We get Penn State and Indiana back to back. I'm jazzed that we're through all this other crap where Oregon can sleepwalk, and they probably were sleepwalking through both Northwestern and Oregon State. So I love we're at the point of the year now where it's time to buckle your chin strap and find out how good are the Oregon Ducks. And by the way, for Oregon State, on the flip side of things, you went through a very tough slate, right? And we knew going in that 0-4 was a real possibility. Didn't want to believe it with Cal and Fresno State, but you had no chance of beating Texas Tech. You had no chance of beating Oregon. Now you're into the part of the schedule that if Oregon State has a spine and a backbone, and Trent Bray's the guy, Houston, App State, Wake Forest, Lafayette, Washington State, Sam Houston, Tulsa, Washington State. There's not a team on there that you shouldn't be able to beat or at least give a hell of a down to the wire. So if you have some pride and you are the guy, Oregon State needs to start stringing together wins. You know, and say that those first 4 weeks are not who we are, and that's not where this program is headed. And if you can't do that against Houston, App State, Wake Forest, and Lafayette, by the time you get to Washington State, dude, get rid of the guy. This is now go time for both squads. Just different goals, but all the play around stuff is over. It's time to put your foot on the gas and see what you're made of.
All right, we will start with the weekend that was in college football, and we'll do that next on 105.1 The Fan.
and Souk on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, college football, good little weekend. Ducks beat the Beavs, but Oregon State covered, I think, right?
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
30 barely.
35.
Well, they lost by 34.
Yeah, and the spread, I think, was 35 or 35 and a half.
Well, I think it went down.
Yeah, it got as low as 34.5, maybe touched 34, but most people got the number at 35 this week.
Well, and Oregon, to Oregon's credit, they didn't try to.
Yeah. Took their foot off
Took
the
their
gas.
foot off the gas.
Dante Moore let it rip a little bit.
Yeah, he was saying that, and I guess I didn't fully realize this. He said this game was kind of personal to him because he got benched when he was at UCLA playing in Corvallis, and Oregon State kind of killed his time there. And so he said him and Dan Lanning watched the game and used it for a little emotion. And I thought early in the game, it actually hurt him. I mean, when you look at Oregon on the second drive where they had the downs, and then after that was the punt, and then obviously was the touchdown barrage. Both of those were open receivers, and Dante just having a little too much sauce.
Do you want to hear the Dan Lanning reporter text exchange regarding that?
There's a text exchange?
Exchange.
Not
Press conference exchange.
Press conference exchange. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like,
misspoke.
we're releasing text messages now?
No.
We've got the transcripts.
Would you like to hear that?
Yeah, what do we got?
Because it was a little awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coach, obviously a really productive day from Dante all around, but there's a couple times where he had guys open downfield, looked a little antsy, fired it on a line instead of putting a little more touch on the ball. What do you see on those plays? Are those ones that we can hit for big plays, or is that just run-of-the-mill
What would
play?
you say? You sound like quarterback coach back there. I mean, what did he throw for, 300?
That's why I said it was a productive day.
Yeah. You were happy with it then? All right.
All the way in the back, Brent.
That was it.
It was actually Dante Moore's best day, statistic-wise, that he's had all year.
He let it rip. But
He went 21 to 31, 305 for 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was fun to watch him. But,
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if you want to enter the Heisman conversation,
Yeah.
it starts this week and next week. Like,
Yes.
that's how you
That's
enter
how you
the
do it.
Heisman conversation.
Yes.
Not this game.
I just when I heard that and Moore said a little bit about it after the game, and they alluded to that that this probably had a little extra motivation. So you throw in the fact that it's the Civil War rivalry game, and then obviously having special meaning. You don't go back and watch that game against Oregon State with your coach for like no reason. Like, hey, let's go back to an offense that has nothing to do with what we're doing. You watch that as kind of a reminder of, hey, these guys did it to you, and I think sometimes you just come out and a little extra sauce. Like I said, especially that one that was the downfield. I think it was to DeCorian Moore. It might have been to Benson. I forget which one. But yeah, he put some air under that ball, and it's probably a touchdown.
Yeah, he came out a little bit hot, and despite the high numbers, it was probably his least impressive day throwing the ball as far as not hitting guys who were open, but he played a great game still.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, this is why I said it's interesting that I'll pull it up here. So it was 41-7, and they had 585 yards. And the other side had 147 yards. And I think
I thought it was 155.
no, it's 147. They had 147 yards.
Duh.
And I think that drive that they went on, the good drive, there was 64 of them on that touchdown drive.
Yeah, that was a good drive.
And yet, maybe that's why Lanning was a little terse. I do feel like there was like this element of like, well, I mean, didn't look that great, and Oregon State kept it close, and you're like, dude, we won 41-7 and dominated the game at every turn, with the exception of probably 2 overthrown balls and one drive where, if you wanted to nitpick one thing, right, I will say, after 2 weeks, having watched everyone in the country play at that time, Ohio State, Texas, LSU, all that, I said at the time, Oregon was the best team in the country. They looked like the best team in the country, even though they hadn't played anyone. The last 2 weeks, Oregon looks as good as everyone else. They don't look better than everyone else. I think that's a fair statement. They look like the other teams in the country that are dominant, that are beating up on bad teams, but it doesn't look like this juggernaut. And so, have they come back down to earth? Are they bored? Who knows? And now you get to get rid of all that crap. And I think everyone's excited the fact that you finally get to play 2 teams and you get to test yourself to kind of see where it's at. But like, I have watched Penn State's coming off a bye. I've watched Penn State play 3 games. Penn State hasn't looked impressive one time. I promise you that there are press conferences every day in Happy Valley that are having that. Well, is the offense really hitting on all cylinders? And why are these games close in the third quarter? And this is the truth of it, is most of the teams in the country look like that. Even the dominant ones. Oregon just didn't in the first 2 weeks, and these last 2 weeks they have. And if there's one thing that I would say that overly concerns me, and it's not overly concerned, Oregon wants to play that 4-2-5 with the 5 defensive backs. Northwestern ran them out of that. And it's one drive, but Oregon State was able to run the ball, and Oregon State can't run the ball on anyone. So they cleaned it up after that, and they never did again. But against better teams, is that something that kind of rears its head?
So the Ducks are underdogs to Penn State.
Yes.
3-point underdogs.
Yeah.
Do you care to guess the point spread on the Indiana game? I have it here.
God. I'm going to say that's more like 6.5 or 7.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Is it more?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, it's possible that this was a look-ahead line from the offseason,
Could be.
but and it may not take into account that Indiana just bumped up several notches by how they looked against Illinois.
Yeah.
But the point spread for Oregon, Indiana. Now, remember, the Ducks are coming off a bye. They get a bye in between
yep.
Penn State and Indiana. The point spread is 21.5.
Boy.
I'm guessing it doesn't open there.
If I can still get it at 21.5,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and grab that.
I'm guessing it doesn't open there.
Yeah.
That may be a look-ahead line.
Well,
but
look, again, I have criticized Indiana and their coach's approach for 2 straight years, and Indiana bothers me. It bothers me that, and it bothered me when Bill Snyder did this at Kansas State. I don't like it. I think it's cowardly, and I just, it's one of the things I hate most about college football. Say what you will, he can coach, and they put up points, and whatever you think of Illinois, and I don't think Illinois is a top 10 team, that's still a team with good defensive talent and a real quarterback. And Indiana, did you watch any of that?
yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, until it got ugly. They
Yeah.
Turned
Dude,
it off.
that was what Oregon looked like in the first 2 weeks.
They look like a machine, man.
So
And that quarterback,
he's better than Rourke.
He's better than Rourke. They upgraded.
They did.
That kid Mendoza,
He can play.
NFL pick?
Yes. 100%.
He's a little skinny, so you got to put a little muscle on because I think the NFL could break him, but he can sling it.
There's a lot of people because the quarterback class right now is so it's just kind of like bleh. There's really no Lenore, like who was it? Was it Matt Miller? Or maybe it was Schefter. One of them did an impromptu poll last week of 25 NFL GMs and executives and who would be the number 1 quarterback taken, and it was all over the board. I think Lenora Sellers won.
What?
Yeah. So it was Lenora Sellers. It was Nussmeier. They're saying Arch Manning isn't draftable right now. I'm not kidding.
My, how things change.
Right? Exactly. So,
Well, Mendoza got to be up there.
and so he's one of those guys that has a chance to start ladder climbing, and by the end of this thing, be the guy that you look at and be like, dude, it may not be a great quarterback class,
The Hoosiers.
but he's going to put himself in position. So, like, they get Indiana, or they get Iowa, which again, I can't imagine that Iowa can score enough points to hang with Indiana. And Indiana's going to be undefeated going into Oregon, and you're telling me that thing is a 21-point spread? I will be very intrigued by that game. Indiana, you have my attention. With what you did to Illinois, which not great, but a good football team, and you embarrassed them, you have my attention. Do it to Iowa again. And Iowa, again, not a great team, but Iowa plays
on the
good-
road.
Iowa on the road. Iowa plays good defense. We know it. And if you make Iowa's defense look like Illinois' defense, I promise you, everyone in Eugene and that coaching staff will be paying attention to what Kurt and company have going on out in Indiana.
All right. Who's better, Texas Tech or Indiana? Miami or Oklahoma? Some other college football ruminations from the weekend coming up next. But first, here's Bach.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Ryan Buckley with this SportsCenter update. First on the Fan. On the college gridiron, the Oregon Ducks remain number 6 in the nation after their 41-7 win over Oregon State in the Civil War. The Ohio State Buckeyes still number 1 in the land. Miami moves up 2 spots to number 2 in the country following their win over Florida, pushing Penn State down to number 3. The Ducks visit the Nittany Lions this week for a whiteout in State College. It's a 4:30 p.m. kick with our coverage here on the Fan starting at noon. Oregon a 3.5-point underdog heading into State College, but they do have some cool new glow-in-the-dark mummy cleats. In the NFL, Monday Night Football wrapping up Week 3 features the Lions visiting the Ravens in Baltimore. It's a 5:15 kick on ESPN and ABC. The Ravens favored by 4.5. NFL injury news today. 49ers pass rusher Nick Bosa tore his ACL in Sunday's win over the Cardinals. He'll miss the rest of the season. Meanwhile, Cowboy star receiver CeeDee Lamb expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks after suffering a high ankle sprain in Sunday's loss to the Bears. Quiet day in Major League Baseball. The Mariners swept the Astros over the weekend, taking a commanding 3-game lead in the AL West. Both the Mariners and Astros idle today. The M's will open a 3-game set against the Rockies on Tuesday, while the Astros will go on the road to Sacramento, where they'll take on the Athletics. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Ryan Buckley at the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of Primetime with
46326. Speaking as a Beaver, that whole staff needs to be turfed. They are so poorly coached in every facet, and I'm sorry, getting boat raced by 30-plus by your so-called rival is no cause for celebration. Outside of one game, the offense is just as bad as anything else. Gundy's play calling is terrible. That all goes back to last year as well. Nothing but respect and love to the fellas for trying and stepping up when it was needed. It didn't work. Time to move forward. We cannot be a bottom dweller in the new Pac-12.
Well, I tend to agree with most of that. I think the concerning part for me, if I'm an Oregon State fan, is you saw a Boise State team last year be better than Oregon in every way other than special teams, which is just depth and raw talent. You lost to a Fresno State team that doesn't have the resources you have. You've seen Washington State, who is battling the exact same things that you're dealing with, and coaches leaving. By the way, they've had two basically first-round picks leave back-to-back in Cam Ward and John Mateer, and still found a way to keep their game competitive. They got blown out in the fourth quarter, but that was a 7-point game, and they managed to win the Apple Cup the year before. So, like, you're seeing mid-level programs not have this sort of fall off. And so for Oregon State, what happened to you was terrible, but it doesn't change the fact that with a good coach and the way the transfer portal is now, you can make changes. You can make significant changes. Indiana went from a laughingstock, and with one coach and a bunch of James Madison transfers, and I get it, they're Power 5 now, but it was Indiana, for God's sakes. And the last 2 years, Indiana, made the playoff, and this year certainly looks like, they may be one of those teams. So I just don't buy this hands up, there's nothing we can do sort of thing. You cannot afford to go into the new Pac-12 last year and be an afterthought in that conference.
Well, I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah. So, but where I'll push back is, to me, you now have 4 games to get this S together, right? I understand, like, you're not doing a knee-jerk reaction thing. And so to me, go prove that this isn't a fluke. Operationally, look more buttoned up. You are playing teams now supposedly more commiserate with where you're at, and now go prove it. And if you can't do it over the next 2 or 3 weeks, then yes, by all means, you got to kneecap this thing. I tend to agree with him. I don't think Trent Bray's the guy. I don't think he inspires. I don't think he's good in the community. I don't think the fans have a lot of belief in him. And apathy is something you can't afford to let set in. But it doesn't seem like Oregon State is quick to anger from a top-down position. And maybe they just don't want to deal with the money and buyouts and all that, even though it's not that much. But these next handful of games, to me, are absolutely critical if you want to have any hope of trying to salvage your reputation.
You don't want him to salvage anything.
I don't.
If you're a Beaver fan?
If I'm a Beaver fan,
you don't want that.
Well, I look at where Washington State's at, and I look at Oregon State.
And the reason I say that is because you probably want to move on from the coach.
I do.
So you don't. Well, I'm not talking about you. Yeah. I'm talking about Beaver fans.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, you don't want to see Oregon State win 4 in a row or whatever, which they're probably not going to do, because then that means Trent Bray might save his job, and you don't want that.
Well, I just, the idea of go scour the ranks and go find someone at the Division II level that builds a really exciting offense. You need to get asses in seats and people excited. And Trent Bray, while a good defensive coordinator and an X's and O's guy, he's a gruff guy. He's tough around high school coaches. He's a real no nonsense hard ass. And I just don't know if that's the guy that's going to light a fire and excite that program. You have to bring someone in that can put up points, that's young, that's energetic. And to me, I think the Trent Bray thing is just trying to hold on to the past. And you got to have a whole new sit down of, hey, this is our new reality of where we're at, and let's take some bold steps to go forward. And Trent Bray, to me, is just holding on to the past, and that doesn't work anymore.
It's not like they're devoid of talent.
No.
Right?
No.
Like, I mean, I think at the start of the year, a lot of people,
yeah.
I mean, they were kind of high on, like, Oregon State being all right.
I thought the schedule lend itself to really maybe putting together something
Well, but
good.
I'm talking about their talent.
Yes.
And it's not, I don't know, I think we've already jumped into this place of, man, they just don't have anything. Well, I don't think that's true. We weren't saying that at the start of the year. Yeah. They got one of the best transfer quarterbacks in the portal.
Yes.
And now they look so inept that to me is coaching. Like that, like, it's not like they can't compete with some of the players, or should compete with some of the players they have. So I don't get why they're this bad, other than just the coaches have lost the locker room. It's just a bad vibe.
If I'm a Beaver fan, and if I'm Beaver administration and I'm Scott Barnes, I'm hitting the reset button. Take some of that war chest money.
Hey, go get Mike Gundy.
No, I'm good. Go and
You don't
find
want Mike Gundy?
No, I do not.
He would never come to Corvallis.
No, he wouldn't, and he's quiet quitting and go away.
Today is the anniversary of the rant.
Oh,
yeah.
is it?
Mm-hmm.
It
He's
was
a man.
15 years ago. Well,
I
look,
think it's 19 now.
if you ask me which one is further along in your rebuild and who's in a better spot,
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Washington State losing Dickert and having their roster plucked and where they're at now with Jimmy Rogers and the way that looks, or Oregon State, same thing, and with Trent Bray. Ask me which one's further along, which fan base has more hope moving forward. And so to me, go find Montana State, go find South Dakota State, go find the guy at Youngstown State, go find the guy at App State that is innovative and it has an offense that scores 50 points a game, that will put asses in the seats, that kids will want, local kids and high school kids and kids coming in the transfer portal will want to come be a part of. They're like, dude, Oregon State slings that ball around. Dude, I go to Oregon State, dude, we're going to put up points, right? When Kalen DeBoer was at Fresno State, right? And was it Jake Hayner? It's like, yeah, let's go play in that system. Like, you need to do that because this blue collar tough guy, we're very gruff exterior thing that you're doing right now. This ain't college football right now. That works in the olden days, but you've got to be able to adapt and kind of, I don't know, massage today's athlete and those coaches. Yeah. And I just don't think he's the guy to do it.
Back to Mendoza. I was looking at some numbers. The Indiana quarterback.
Yeah.
He had 5 touchdowns and 2 incompletions.
Yeah.
Incompletions.
Yes.
And 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He threw 3 more tutties than incompletions.
And someone pointing out.
And that, by the way, that's against a top 10 team.
Yes. Who, maybe not be a top 10 team, but has NFL defensive caliber talent that people were high on and won 9 games last year. And so I get that, someone's saying, well, Indiana is in the Big Ten at 80 million. Look, I'm not saying that you're going to get Cignetti to come, because obviously you're not at a Power 4 level anymore. But that's my point, is Indiana had utter apathy for 30 years of football. And they found the right guy. I think he came from James Madison, right? And he was an older guy, like in his 60s, but he came in with like kind of this new sort of like, hey man, this is how we're going to do it. And this is my offense. I'm bringing in my players. Go find that guy. Yes, you may not be able to keep him and you may not be able to get him, but you're telling me that I think he was like 61 when Indiana hired him. How many teams had the ability to go get Curt Cignetti and did not? Well, stop trying to hire from within. Stop trying to get the guy that's going to rebuild the Mike Riley glory days. Stop trying to go hire the guy that, quote, is a Beaver, and go find the guy that wants to innovate. Go find the guy that wants to put an offensive scheme out there that's going to put your nuts in a vice and make defensive coordinators not want to play you. Go find the guy that maybe the quarterback that's breaking state records but is too small. Every state has that kid that's 5'9" and is breaking all kinds of records, but Oregon doesn't want him or Washington doesn't want him because he's small and he gets overlooked. Go find that guy that wants to run a system that little 5'9" kid from Texas is like, all right, well, maybe the Power 4 is overlooking me, but I'll go to Corvallis and we're going to light the world on fire.
Yeah, go get yourself a Taco Dowler, that kid from Montana State.
Yes.
Great name.
Yeah.
4 tutties without an interception in 3 straight games for Mendoza.
Yeah.
The only other players to do that in the last 30 are Joe Burrow, Tua, C.J. Stroud, and Caleb Williams.
Pretty good.
Good company.
Mm-hmm.
He is also Mendoza. There's only one other player in the last 30 years that had 5 touchdowns and a 90% completion percentage in a game against a ranked team. And that's what he did this last weekend. Yeah. C.J. Stroud, the only other one to do that in the last 30 years. Yeah. And 63 points by Indiana is the most by a Big Ten team against an AP top 10 opponent. Any team in the Big Ten. It is the most since 1933.
Allow me to officially apologize to Indiana for saying you were a paper tiger and I had no respect for you. I stand corrected. Now do it against Iowa and set up this hellacious matchup where that offense comes into Autzen in a couple weeks and let's do it up here.
All right, let's get to Texas Tech, another team that kind of bowed up over the weekend.
There was a couple big surprises in that. This
That was a
certainly
big one.
There was one of them.
They look great.
Yeah.
That'll be next on the Fan.
Dirt and Sprague. On the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Well, we were watching closely the Big 12 matchup, the nooner.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
I woke up specifically for this one.
Yeah, Utah, Texas Tech.
Yeah.
A potential highlighter game.
Man, how good did Texas Tech look?
Really good.
Well, towards the end, I mean, that was a great defensive fight going back and forth. And then I think Utah won. That Hammond kid that came in,
he's better than the starter.
He looked better than Morton. Dude, that kid was electric. And I just thought Utah, and you see this a lot in these defensive kind of matchups. I think Utah just got gassed.
Yeah, they wore out.
You know,
they couldn't. I mean,
they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, It was just Texas Tech, both sides of the ball. That was pretty impressive, dude. Because Utah did not play their best game,
but still,
they made them look bad, and they turned them over. How many times did they turn it over?
5, I think.
Was there 5 turnovers there?
I think there was.
The quarterback. I was told that this Utah quarterback's so good.
Yep.
They made him look silly.
Well, and Kyle Whittingham said after the game, he said, if you would have told me. Dude, they have 2 NFL first-round tackles.
I know.
And a couple other guys in the interior line that are going to play in the NFL. That is one of the better O-lines we thought in college football, at least according to NFL people. And Whittingham said, if you would have told me that we would have lost both lines of scrimmages, he goes, I would have never believed you in a million years.
Yeah.
And I think towards the end, I don't think that was on the Utah defense. I just think they broke. I just think they absolutely ran out of gas. But to have their offensive line get bullied like that, boy, I just didn't see it. Texas Tech spent a lot of money on that roster to beef up both lines, and especially on the defensive line and that Rodriguez, that linebacker they had who was flying around. I just was really impressed with Texas Tech's defense. And then, like I said, I think 34-10 is not indicative of what that was. That was just a defense that eventually just couldn't keep it on the field.
I think it's cool that, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this because a lot of people believe that college football, the new era of transfers, NIL, and all this stuff, they believe that it's ruining college football.
Yeah.
Dude, I look at it the exact opposite because I think it's super cool that a school like Texas Tech, and by the way, they have not won an outright conference title since 1955.
I was going to say, all those years under Mike Leach and stuff, they
never won the
squat.
league.
No.
So I think it's just cool that a cash infusion can mean instant results like that. Like you were talking about Indiana. Now that one wasn't as much about cash as it was about, some of it is. You have to commit.
They brought most of the guys they had last year were James Madison guys, and then this year they were able to spend in the portal, but that's coach and system.
But and then
some money.
They also kept a lot of those guys. They were able to retain them. Texas Tech, they just had some boosters step up and go, dude, we need to be better.
Yeah.
And they are.
Yeah.
And I think that is cool. Like there's other teams that have done that. Oklahoma has stepped up. They got Mateer, and all of a sudden they look like they're really good.
Yep.
So I think it's cool that year in and year out, there will be coming out parties like this for a Texas Tech or for Indiana or there are more coming. And I think that one of the reasons I like that is just I feel like the best teams aren't always the same teams anymore.
Yeah.
And that's cool. That's flavor. I think it adds spice to college football. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I think it's awesome that Texas Tech is really good.
They have 7 new starters on their defense, including all 4 of their front guys that are all from the transfer portal.
Yeah. And then instantly worked.
Yes.
Right.
And what we haven't seen a team that can consistently do this, where they stack, where every year the transfer portal, you don't have to worry about recruiting high school. That was the Dion thing, and that hasn't worked. But what we have seen, and this is your point, and I've come around to it. We saw Mel Tucker do it at Michigan State. We saw Norvell do it this year with Florida State. We're now seeing Texas Tech. We saw Indiana. Like, you can, in 1 year. Now, granted, you then have to go and you still have to build your program and you still have to have depth and you have to high school recruit and all that. But we have seen, and this is why I told Oregon State, do not sit there on your hands and be like, well, maybe Trent Bray in 3 years. No, this has become more like the NFL, that with the right coach, the right scheme, and a good draft class, you can completely change your fate. We've seen it now in college football, and I'm with you. I love it. I'm all for it. And maybe Texas Tech next year can't have the same success, but maybe all those kids now, instead of going to Texas Tech, maybe they end up at Oklahoma State, right? And Oklahoma State gets a new coach. They fire Mike Gundy, and they go get some new guy from wherever, from North Texas, that guy. He goes to Oklahoma State, brings a bunch of his guys with him, and all of a sudden next year we're like, oh my God, this Oklahoma State team is fun. I'm with you, man. I love the new blood that pops up. And you can do it. You can transform your team in a year with the right coach, right system, and the right transfer portal. And while Texas Tech plays in a world where, yes, they spent more in the transfer portal, you don't, like Florida State's kids that are doing that. I don't know if, like, Florida State, give Florida State credit.
Yeah.
And Florida State's kids were not all like Alabama rejects. They got kids from like Western Kentucky. They got Boston College. They kind of had to do a hodgepodge, but they found the right guys. And they brought in some new coordinators, new coaching staff, kept Norvell, and all of a sudden they lit a fire under some people's ass. And Florida State's out there right now looking like a top 10 team. I don't know why anyone would be against that in the world of college football.
Exactly. It could be your school. You just got to make the right hire.
Yes.
And you got to have commitment. You got to have buy-in.
Which is, I am a patience guy. I am. I don't like knee-jerk reactions. But I do think when you know you don't have the guy, truncate it, cut off the limb before the gangrene sets in. And I think there's a difference between being patient and having someone build and knowing that from top to bottom, nothing looks and feels right. And that's when you know, hey, when you don't have the guy, you don't have the guy.
So who's better, Texas Tech or Indiana right now? What say you?
I'll tell you what. I feel a little bit of the humble pie in Indiana. But boy, I liked the physicality that Texas Tech played with. I really do. And the fact that you beat up Utah, and Utah may end up not being great, they're good on both fronts. The fact that you beat them up and bloody their nose, I kind of want to lean Texas Tech. And I was not overly impressed with Texas Tech when I saw them play against the Beavs. I thought maybe that was equal parts Texas Tech being good and Oregon State kind of being stinky. But man, I just, much like Indiana, who you have my attention and I was not familiar with your game. I just was really impressed with Tech. And they did it with a backup quarterback when they busted that thing open. So I'll go in a slight lean. I will go Texas Tech, but talk to me after next week, because if they do that to Iowa, all of a sudden I may be circling that Indiana game as the game I most want to see on Oregon's schedule.
So if you wonder who has more talent, I was looking at Dave Bartu, the Matrix, his talent rankings.
Yeah.
Texas Tech is and this is based on high school talent and transfers.
Yeah.
He has Texas Tech 44th. He has Indiana 54th.
Okay.
So they're pretty similar.
Yeah. This is going to be fun. I just think that, dude.
But the quarterback situation, I mean,
yeah.
Indiana clearly has a better quarterback.
Yeah.
Although that backup for Tech,
dude, are
they going to have to play him?
He was running around making plays with his legs, and he was throwing darts. He had one where he over the shoulder hit that dude in the side of the cheek. I was very impressed, and that's a legit Utah defense. So this is going to be fun. And again, he may rub me the wrong way, but man, Cignetti may just be that guy. I do kind of appreciate the Google me bitch.
Yeah.
I just wish he wouldn't hide and try to weasel his way into the playoff.
It works.
It worked.
Got in last year.
I know. I hate
All right,
that.
we'll get back to college football later. 6 games left. Am I right that not one AL team has clinched a playoff spot?
That was correct as of yesterday.
The Blue Jays haven't
afternoon?
clinched?
No.
Oh, no, I think the
not
Blue Jays
one.
have now. I think they have
have
now.
they?
I think they did
they
yesterday.
did.
But
Dude.
before yesterday, there was not.
It's wild. Wild final week.
Yes, the Blue Jays have clinched.
And the Mariners swept the Stros.
Yeah.
We'll cover baseball next on The Fan.
Plenty of points expected in Monday Night Football. I'm Joe Ostrowski here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. A Detroit-Baltimore total of 53.5, the highest of Week 3, makes sense after these squads combined to score 93 points last week. The Lions struggle against mobile quarterbacks. Let's go Lamar anytime touchdown at plus 185. I'm Joe Ostrowski.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Ryan Buckley with this Sports Center update. First on the Fan, the Oregon Ducks remain number 6 in the AP poll after their 41-7 win over Oregon State in the Civil War. The Ohio State Buckeyes still number 1. Miami moves up to number 2. That pushes Penn State down to number 3. The Ducks will visit the Nittany Lions this weekend for a whiteout in State College. It's a 4:30 p.m. kick with our coverage starting here on the Fan at noon. Oregon, a 3.5-point underdog as they head east, but they do have some cool new glow-in-the-dark mummy cleats. In the NFL, Monday Night Football is wrapping up Week 3. Features the Lions visiting the Ravens in Baltimore. It's a 5:15 kick, and it's on ESPN and ABC. The Ravens favored by 4.5. NFL injury news coming out of Sunday. 49ers pass rusher Nick Bosa tore his ACL in Sunday's win over the Cardinals. He'll miss the rest of the season. Cowboys star receiver CeeDee Lamb expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks after suffering a high ankle sprain in Sunday's loss to the Bears. And a quiet day in Major League Baseball with the Mariners and Astros both idle after the M's swept the Astros in Houston over the weekend, leading to a commanding 3-game lead in the AL West. The M's will open a 3-game set against the Rockies on Tuesday, while the Astros go on the road to Sacramento, where they take on the A's. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Ryan Buckley at the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and Rashad Taylor. Saturday mornings at 9 on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. Primetime with Isaac and Sook.
12 cats live across the road. Our door's open. Screen's broke. I turn and look. There's a little kitty cat in our kitchen. So I said, "What are you doing in here, little kitty cat?"
Isaac Robb.
Cat starts going, meow, all crazy. We need more dogs.
Jason Sukanik.
Try to let it out the front door. Meow, meow. Cat's still going crazy in there.
This is Primetime on the Fan Sports Network.
We don't need a bunch of cats in here. Meow, looking in the mirror. Be a dog.
105.1 and 1080.
We don't need no meows. We don't need no cats. We need more dogs.
The Fan.
All right. Welcome back. We got Stockwatch coming up next. We're buying and selling from the weekend in sports. But baseball, final week.
Mm-hmm.
Mariners swept the Stros. Now 3 up in the division.
I mean, that when we said it going into this, if one team sweeps, I mean, that's essentially over. Not only is it essentially over, I feel like Cal Raleigh may have just spoke volumes on the national stage about winning an MVP.
He's the favorite now.
Yeah. I mean, you're carrying this team to a division title. You're going to end up hitting, let's say he probably gets to 60. I mean, there's your MVP. You've won the division. And honestly, I think my only question at this point is, do they end up getting the 2 seed? I mean, I just can't tell you how big that series sweep was.
You know, they could actually get the 1.
They get the 1?
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, okay, so apparently the Blue Jays have clinched a playoff spot.
They have clinched a playoff spot.
So they'll be in.
Yes.
But right now, they're the number 1. They're the number 1 seed, but they only have a 2-game lead on the Yankees in their own division.
Yeah.
The Mariners are 3 back of Toronto. The Mariners play the Rockies. So, I mean, if the Mariners continue this win streak, win 3 against the Rockies, you know, that last Dodgers series, they could be pushing Toronto for the number 1 seed.
Yeah, in theory.
Like, there's really nothing that's been settled in the American League. Like, every team outside of Toronto who is in playoff position could also not make the playoffs if they have a disastrous week.
Yeah, I mean,
including the Mariners.
Yeah, if you go 0-6.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to happen, but I mean, it could happen.
I suppose.
It's going to happen to somebody. Look, the Tigers are blowing it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, if you just take care of even if you go 500, you would think that Seattle ends up being the 2 seed and gets to skip the wild card altogether. I mean, this is just.
You hope.
I mean, this is just that was just such a monster series.
Do you know the last time the Mariners won the division in the AL West?
The last time they won the division, God, are we going back to 2001?
Yep.
We going back to 116 wins?
Yep. They haven't won it in 24 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm just like scrambling. I'm like, no,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So since losing that first game in Atlanta, the Mariners have gone 14-1. And likely now, as you say, to get a bye.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
Well, you get a bye, and all of a sudden, you know, Gilbert's looking like the guy that you were counting on him, and this pitching staff kind of coming around, and you got freaking Cal Raleigh, who's going to be the MVP. Maybe, you know.
Give me another team in the AL So we were talking about this off the air the other day with all the Yankee bros around here.
Yeah.
Who scares you in the American League?
Well, I want to be careful because Softy and all the other blowhards up in Seattle, when they made the deadline deal and they went out and they got bats, there was this idea of, yes, on paper you can make a case that the Mariners have the best roster top to bottom in the AL. And then they went on that little heater and it turned into this, we fear no one, everyone fears us. And then you proceeded to crap down your leg for like 12 games. And it was like, oh my God, like right on cue. Well, here we are, like you said, what, 14-1?
Yeah. 14 of 15.
And you're getting some top end pitching that looks like top end pitching that you thought at the start of the year. You have real bats in the lineup, including the guy that's going to win the MVP. As of right now, going into the postseason, there's not a team that you look at if you're the Mariners and say that they scare us. That doesn't mean that you're a World Series team, anything like that. But no, I do not think that they are afraid of anyone. And if they play the way they're capable of, it goes back to that. Top to bottom, you can make a strong case that's the best roster in the American League.
So a couple of other things. Tigers led the American League Central by 14 games back on July 8th.
Yikes.
Their lead is now 2.
Because do you have the most historic collapses?
Yes.
Because I know the Mets blew one.
Yeah, they're in the top 5.
We had one where we were up on the Phillies. I want to say it was like 11 or 12 games. It was bad. And I remember watching that thing just bleed away and how just awful that thing was. And I was like, that's got to be one of the all-time blunders.
So I think I want to say there's an old-timey team, like the 1914 Braves or something.
Sure.
They came back after trailing by 15. So the most a team has ever trailed in a division race and still won the division is 15. Interestingly, if the Guardians catch the Tigers, the Guardians were 15 and a half back. So it would be the largest deficit in a division ever overcome if Cleveland catches Detroit. Fun fact, they play 3 in Cleveland beginning tomorrow.
Yeah, just like the Mariners. And I think it was Cal that was saying he was, I think it was Cal, Raleigh, that was saying they were just so excited to get a chance for the Astros because it's like settling on the field, right? And how
Sorry, I misspoke. Their lead in the division is 1, not 2. It's down to 1 game.
And so, like, I think that's really cool. And if you're the Guardians or the Tigers, you should revel in this opportunity. Like, here we come down the stretch and, don't let it be settled by the Rockies or whatever. Head to head. Let's see what happens. I love that we get division baseball like this. I just wish it was the last series of the year between Cleveland and Detroit. That being said, go Tigers. I got no love for the Guardians.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of rooting for a collapse.
You leaving for the collapse?
I mean, they've been bad. Like the Tigers.
I remember that I've had too many Mets collapses in my life, including the one that I'm seeing right now.
I don't know, man.
I feel sympathy for him.
I mean, my team's in the AL Central, so I feel sympathy for none of those teams.
That's true.
But the Guardian, I don't know. I mean, the Guardians have played way better. I think they're probably the better team of the two of them. The lead was 10 on September 3rd.
The Guardians have a -9 run differential.
Well,
and they're
playing great.
They have 2 pitchers that are suspended for gambling.
They're playing great.
Their
They
last
were
18
sellers at the
games,
deadline.
They're playing great.
They've allowed 28 runs in their last 18 games.
They are
the
not-
next closest team is 65 runs.
This
they
is
don't
the
let anyone
definition
score.
of they're on a heater. They are not a better team than the
They are a
Tigers.
better team than the Tigers. The Tigers kind of aren't that good. They're 26 and 37 since they had that lead, the 14-game lead on July 8th. I mean, that's terrible.
Oof.
That's worse than the freaking Royals. And let me tell you something. That's bad. So here's what's left. Tigers up 1 on the Guards. 3 games head-to-head in Cleveland this week. Jays are up 2 on the Yankees. Jays own the tiebreaker, so that's going to be hard for New York. Red Sox are up 1 on the Guardians and Astros for the second AL wildcard. The Guardians own the tiebreaker over both the Tigers and Astros at this point. The Reds and Mets are tied for the final NL wildcard spot.
And worse off is they own the tiebreaker.
The Reds have the tiebreaker.
The Reds
yeah.
do. For the first time all year, basically, the Mets do not control their own destiny. They
And
need
the
help.
D-bags are 1 back.
Yeah.
They were sellers at the deadline, and they've turned it on a little bit.
Yep.
The Mets, since August 1st, are 18 and 29. A la the Tigers.
But they're back.
Hey, it's enough of that. By the way, this is how just You weren't watching because why would you? Why
The
would
Mets
you be?
game?
Yeah.
No.
So
Over the weekend?
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
So I was flipping back and forth, and the center fielder for the Nationals. Oh,
I saw
what is
this.
that chode's name?
Jacob something. Jacob
Kesselm. I hate you. The dip-ass center fielder made the two best catches. They lost that game by one effing run. And he made, first off, in the ninth inning, he caught Alvarez, the Mets catcher, hit a home run, and that donkey reached over the fence and took it back. And earlier in the game, on Beatty, where he hit one into center field, it hits his glove, falls down. He kicks it to himself. He hacky sacks it. He hacky sacks it up to himself and then makes a juggling catch. We lost that game because a center fielder made the two most improbable plays you'll ever see in the same game.
Did you see it, Isaac, the catch?
I did not.
Oh
no.
my God.
I need to look that. Is it Jacob Young?
It is Jacob Young.
Yes.
Okay.
Look, like the Alvarez catch is ridiculous because it would have tied the game. It was a home run. He reaches up over the line, snatches it back, and that was in the ninth inning of a 3-2 ball game. Would have tied it up. But earlier in the game, you will not see a more ridiculous catch than that donkey had.
And if that ball hits the wall, then it's not an out. It's a live ball, but
Yes.
it only touched his glove
Yes.
and his foot and never the ground.
I'm watching.
I don't know if I've ever seen it before.
I don't think I have.
Okay.
I remember Paul O'Neill once kicking a ball back into the infield because he was bobbling it,
Yes.
but that's as far as I've seen.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
If the Mets end up missing the playoffs by one game, I will look back on that game and that donkey.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially after the collision with the wall.
Yeah. He kind of misplayed it.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's not that good a
It's a hell
center
of a
fielder.
recovery, though.
The second one was really good too.
Yeah, you seen the Alvarez one?
Yeah, that Alvarez, the hitter.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it here.
That would have tied the game. Now, granted, the Mets would have lost it in extra innings because it's what we do, but still.
How about Jacob Young? Just peeing in your Cheerios. Yeah, maybe it's not your year.
I'm sitting there watching the NFL and I'm like flipping back and forth and just like, really? But hey, don't worry, we'll be back.
Yes, really.
Staying positive.
All right, big week. Mariners Rockies. Not so big. Well,
No.
I mean, I guess, you got to take care of business.
Yeah, it
Starts
wasn't big
tomorrow.
when the Mets were playing the Nationals either, and look what happened. We lost 2 or 3 for God's sakes.
All right, coming up next, in the news, we have a lights out red alert. Here's Buck.
No, we're going to do Stockwatch next here on the
Oh, wait, sorry. I was
one early.
I was one early.
Yeah.
My bad. All right.
Bye.
Sports.
Now, here's a quick look at Portland traffic.
Like you guys a couple of bookies.
Is the hype accurate or a bunch of hot gas? Before you buy or sell, listen close.
It's easy to grin when your ship comes in and you've got the stock market beat. But the man worthwhile is the man who can smile when his shorts are too tight in the seat.
Primetime Stockwatch is brought to you by 1-800-DIVORCE. When you need to take stock of your rights, 1-800-DIVORCE is on your side. Call 1-800-DIVORCE today.
Man, the disrespect I showed to the Stockwatch with that last tease, just glossing right over it.
Blew it off.
Blew it off for In the News to shine.
You do love ITN.
I do. That's my fave.
It's your baby.
But this Stockwatch, I love it too. Okay?
Yeah.
I love it. And Buckley has teed up another one for us here this week.
I have. Let's start with the Civil War. The Ducks obviously handling things as they needed to, but maybe the most exciting moment of the game when their punter decided to take it on himself to take off on fourth down in his own territory for the first down. He explained it after the game. This is James Ferguson Reynolds.
It was awesome. It was fun. I just went out there for a normal punt and, grabbed the ball and saw a big gap and thought, why not take it? Never run in my life, so that's where the slide came in. I had a little bit of fun there and thought I was a bit of a football player for 5 minutes, but just saw some space and took it, so it was good.
Buy or sell, James Ferguson Reynolds might be the coolest player on the Ducks team. Australian bro, long hair, making up punt plays on the fly.
First off,
no.
Punter
No.
is never the coolest player on the team.
You're jaded by a Tom Tupa experience.
No.
Yeah, he stole your TV.
This is true. Screw you, Tom.
You hate punters.
Screw you, Tom Tupa. No. Look, kickers.
Well, Aussies, it's the accent. They're kind of cool.
He's got the long hair, but it's just...
You're nothing without an Aussie punter.
You're a kicker. I know. By the way, do we have American punters anymore?
Well, I thought, didn't
Utah
start that?
Yeah, Utah started
Whittingham would go over there and get them all over there, and now everybody's doing it.
Everyone's doing it. So,
they can kick, man.
Look, I do appreciate that you saw a gap and you took it, but you're never going to get me to say that the punter is the coolest guy, nor will you get me to say that the punter is cool. You have one effing job, kick the ball.
Who is the coolest punter ever?
Well, a lot of people will tell you it's McAfee.
Yeah, that's probably.
Yeah. Didn't know it at the time.
Yeah, didn't know it at the time. But probably
Johnny Hecker's pretty cool. That guy could do everything. He was like all the trick plays and fake punts and stuff. He was good.
I long for the days of Reggie Roby where he wore like a Timex watch while he was punting.
Well, you never know. You got to check the time.
Yeah, who was the punter for the? He was with the Raiders. Is it Marcus King? They had a punter for a while that would like
Marquette King.
Yeah, he would try to like flex on people. He tried to make punting cool, and it lasted for all of like 2 seconds.
Well, this raises a good question. Who is the coolest guy on the Ducks?
I don't know.
Coolest? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know him all that well. So
trying to think of who's got the most.
I mean, Sadiq seems kind of cool.
Dude, that guy.
Betcher seems pretty cool.
He's put together.
Sadiq needs to get a bigger uniform. It's Nike. Can we get him a large? God, that thing
can't fit his Adonis frame.
That thing is ridiculous. Loosen that thing up. Take a breath, my man.
Well, let's go deep in the heart of Texas, where Arch Manning finally showed something against Sam Houston State. This is late in the first quarter after a touchdown run.
Manning keeps it himself. Cutting up, gets into the end zone, touchdown. Well, he has been a pretty good weapon in the red zone, and some taunting going on down there from Arch Manning. He better watch it. He's getting warned by Jason Autry, the lead official.
Showing that swagger. He is fired up, exactly what we thought he'd do down here in the red zone.
So if you haven't seen the play, Arch takes in a run, and then he stands over and flexes on the Sam Houston State defender, which the announcers called swagger. Buy or sell, that's not swagger. That's imposter syndrome.
Yeah, dude. That's the douchiest thing I saw all week, and that's saying something. Dude, you went from a generational talent to not a single NFL executive saying that you should be drafted, and your big thing is that after running a ball in on Sam Houston State, you stand over a guy and flex? Come on, dude. That's just sad. Like if I was Sam Houston, I would seriously like look at him and be like, really, you're flexing on me right now?
I mean, I saw that, and that was the first time I really went like, maybe he just isn't the guy.
Yeah.
Like, it turned me off to him. Like, if he's acting like that after this, like, I don't know.
If John Jones like liver kicks me and then I'm laying on the ground weeping, is he really going to stand over me and be like, "What's up, man?" Like, why are you doing that? I didn't ask for that.
Well,
my God.
I mean, he's taken a lot of heat lately, and he
He's
was
gonna take
blowing
more.
off some steam then.
He was feeling himself.
Good Sam
Boy,
Houston.
imposter syndrome, huh?
Yeah.
He knows.
Interesting.
Dude, that dude knows he's a fraud.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. It's not good.
So you buying or selling?
Well, look, his next two.
Wait, what am I buying or selling?
That was not swagger. That was imposter
Yeah,
syndrome.
no, I'll buy that.
So they got to buy, and then look, I know Florida stinks, but Florida's defense is good, and then they get Oklahoma's defense, which is just nasty. These next 2 weeks after the bye, I'm very intrigued by what he does against Florida and Oklahoma.
Well, let's go over to Clemson. If you thought that was not great, we spent a lot of time on Dabo, and Dabo says I'm not a cyborg, I'm a person too, and we're going to focus here not on Dabo but on his quarterback. This is Cade Klubnik.
You know, we were doing it all throughout the game. We were playing with tempo, and you know, props to them. They stopped us on some third downs and in certain times, and then you know they have an injury or something like that when we really got going. So. You know, that's up to them if they want to be honest about that. But you know, that was just, you know, that was definitely tough for us to really get in a rhythm. We're playing fast, and then, you know, unfortunately they have a guy get hurt or something, so or a timeout or, you know, something like that. So, you know, hopefully everybody. I feel like we came out really healthy, and hopefully they did too. So. I love playing with tempo, and I feel like we did it really well, especially in the fourth quarter, but even in the first and second. And just got to continue to do that and find ways to overcome, you know, a delay, whatever it is.
So correct me if I'm wrong. That sounded like he was blaming a 13-point loss to Syracuse in which they got housed on a Syracuse player maybe faking an injury at one point during the game. Buy or sell, that's bigger loser behavior than whatever Dabo does.
Now, to be fair,
let's be fair.
I would like to point out the ACC today fined the Syracuse Orangemen $25,000 for faking.
But even if it happened, that's why you lost that one play?
Yes. So I will say that while indeed they were faking injuries according to the ACC, the fact that you had the nerve after being picked by the vast majority of college football pundits to be a serious contender to play for and possibly win a national championship.
Well, he was supposed to win a Heisman maybe.
And you were supposed to be the presumed number one overall pick if it wasn't Arch Manning. And you are now 1-3. And you're tumbling down draft boards, and you lost to Syracuse, even though Syracuse lost their starting quarterback to a torn Achilles, and you lost to Syracuse by 14 points, and you have the balls to come out there and say that the reason why your offense couldn't get going is because of faking injuries. Dude, I'm not sure whose head's further up their ass, Cade Klubnik or Dabo, because Dabo came out today, and he said, you don't worry about us. God is at work in this locker room. Therefore, God has something. Apparently, the reason. So, which is worse? Clemson being 1-3 due to fake injuries, or according to Dabo, God is making them 1-3 so that they can have some sort of test and then overcome it.
Well, that is the stock. Buy or sell. Cade Klubnik's response better or worse than anything else that Dabo has done?
I think it might be. I think Dabo's had worse.
I'm gonna say better. Because he was right.
Yeah.
I mean, Syracuse was
That's
faking
right.
injuries.
Yes.
So and he was trying to call him out on it, and he did, and they were fine for it. Apparently, the ACC said it was two instances.
2 instances, yes.
And so
two
different players.
And a public reprimand.
Yeah. So they have to pay 25. Like, do you think they care about paying 25 G's?
No.
Like, nice win, Fran. By the way, that coach, gone. Fran Brown, he's going to get a good job.
Yeah,
that dude's 13-4 at Syracuse. They're pretty nasty.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
gone.
Especially if they can keep this going with a backup quarterback, dude, he'll be the next coach.
Arkansas,
someone, Florida, wherever he'll
Florida.
be at.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Hey, just know that Dabo said that there will be no changes in personnel or coaching staff because God's at work here, and this moment will make them better. So
what are they, 1-3?
Yeah, they're 1-3, but don't worry. They're fine.
My Clemson to win the ACC ticket isn't looking so hot.
They're the only 0-2 team in the conference.
Damn it.
Dude, of all the stories in college football so far, there is none that is like, what the hell? That team had, that was a playoff team last year that had everything coming back. There is no reason for them to be this bad.
Will they lose next week? Or it's not, they don't have a game this
yeah, I think
weekend.
they have a bye.
But after that, they go to North Carolina.
No.
Are they losing to
No.
Fat Bill Belichick?
North Carolina is so bad.
They are bad.
They are absolute garbage.
Yeah, I saw Jordan on the sidelines too in warmups.
Yeah.
That was a big
Dude,
thing.
UCF, and I want you to realize that Scott Frost took Bill Belichick
Yeah.
behind the freaking woodshed.
What a sentence.
Isn't that weird? Yes, it is a like what?
You just said, that's like a Mad Lib. You just said Scott Frost took Bill Belichick behind the woodshed? In what world would that happen?
Their two losses are 48-14 and 34-9 against TCU, who actually might be pretty good.
They might be.
And Central Florida.
Can we talk about why Scott Frost isn't good anywhere but UCF?
I don't know. Maybe there's some. It's a valid point. Yeah, I don't know. What a weird.
He went 13-0 there.
I know.
And now he's 3-0.
Maybe he just. Well, the idea was that he didn't care at Nebraska and he just wanted the money and he partied too much. But I don't know. Maybe down in Florida, it's the right balance of co-eds and parties and like the talent, like, you know, the competition levels a step down. It's a weird thing at Nebraska.
All right. Are you done over there, Buckley?
Got one more for you real
All
quick
right.
from Houston this weekend.
Mariners team that has won 13 of their last 14. And now leads the division by 2 as Raleigh drills one. Deep to right, hooking toward the corner. And it is gone! Hooked it inside the pole, and Cal Raleigh. Home run number 58 for the Seattle catcher. And a 2-run shot. And the Mariners have scored a touchdown here in the second inning.
So now that the Mariners 3 games clear of the Astros in the AL West, they are, dare I say, an overwhelming favorite to win the American League at plus 210. Buy or sell, you would take the Mariners to beat any team in the AL in an ALCS series.
Jeez.
I am terrified of saying that just because, dude, it's the Mariners. And every time that they've been anointed, including this year, they will remind you that they are the Mariners. But right now, they are the best team in the American League. They really are. From lineup to the pitching staff, they have everything you could want. And that being said, no, I do not think I could bring myself to
Really?
that. I don't think I could.
Against any other team in the AL? I think I would.
I don't think I can bring myself to do it.
I mean, you never know these series.
I'm setting myself up for failure.
But I think I would take the Mariners. I think that on paper,
They're-
Mariners should be able to beat
Yes.
every one of those teams in the AL. Now, I don't know about the NL.
Yeah.
There's some nasty teams in the NL.
Yes.
But I think in the AL, like, the Yankees don't scare you. I mean, like, Toronto's good, but I don't know.
Guardians, Tigers, you just got done kicking the crap out of the Astros.
And by the way, can I that clip you played there of Raleigh's home run, the Astros fans were booing their team.
Yeah.
You freaking losers. Guess what happens when you don't cheat? You lose.
Yeah, they'll be back.
Screw you,
They'll
Astros.
be back banging on those trash cans in the postseason.
Freaking bitch. Hate the Astros.
I think we all do.
Goldberg Jones, when it comes to divorce, custody, or child support issues, trust Goldberg Jones to help you. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. Phone questions answered at no charge. Stockwatch each Monday, 4:15. Okay, now we're ready for In the News. We have a lights out red alert to tell you about. Here's Buck.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Ryan Buckley with this Sports Center update. First on the Fan. The Oregon Ducks, now number 6 in the country, or remain number 6 in the country after their win over Oregon State in the Civil War. The Ohio State Buckeyes, still number 1. Miami moves up 2 spots to number 2 in the country, pushing Penn State to number 3. The Ducks visit the Nittany Lions this weekend in-state college for a whiteout. It's a 4:30 p.m. kick with our coverage starting on the Fan at noon. Oregon, a 3.5-point underdog as they head out to Pennsylvania. In the NFL Monday Night Football, wrapping up Week 3, featuring the Lions visiting the Ravens in Baltimore. It's a 5:15 kick on ESPN and ABC. The Ravens favored by 4.5. Some NFL injury news. 49ers pass rusher Nick Bosa tore his ACL in Sunday's win over the Cardinals. Cowboys star receiver CeeDee Lamb sustained a high ankle sprain. He's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. And a quiet day in Major League Baseball after the Mariners swept the Houston Astros over the weekend to take a commanding 3-game lead in the AL West. Both the Mariners and the Astros idle today. The M's open a 3-game set against the Rockies on Tuesday, while the Astros go on the road to visit the Athletics in Sacramento. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Ryan Buckley at the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Curtain missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the firm of Harris and Meringue. Weekdays 10 to 1. The Fan Sports Network. 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Hey, I just saw, you remember that whole power line fiasco in Northeast Portland that we talked about a couple years ago?
Yes, sir.
Or I guess it was last year.
Yeah.
During the winter storm, and very sad story. That family has now filed a $375 million lawsuit.
Against the power company?
Yes, against
that was,
PGE.
Yeah, that was the car. They're right. They were in the car.
Yeah, they were in the car. Yeah. Three people died.
375.
Yeah, it's a lot of dough.
Yeah.
You think Ken and Donnie can get them that?
Well, I was like,
you think they hired Ken and Donnie?
I was watching Landman, and I don't really know why, because it's.
Is there a new season?
No, it's a dumb show, but I like Billy Bob Thornton. You kind of talked me into giving it a whirl, and they did talk about what a weird thing it is to have the value of a loved one, like a dollar amount. Like, how much is your dead body worth? It's kind of a weird thing, and yet.
I'd sue for 375 is fair.
Well, that's why you have the Donikins of the world to find out how much your bloated corpse is worth to your loved ones, Isaac Ropp.
Yeah, well,
I would like to think
in this case, 3 bloated corpses.
You imagine if your wife just took like $500,000, like she just hired some other lawyer and he was like, I'll settle for $500 grand, and you're there in the afterlife being like, really?
Right. I'm screaming from the beyond. 100 million!
Donikin, where the hell are you at?
Although she'd probably be like, yeah, 500,000 for him is a steal.
Take it.
I'll take it.
Well, you know what? With the advocates, you'd be worth more than 500,000.
That's
I'm confident of it.
That's right. They are personal injury attorneys, Ken and Donnie. They are Primetime approved. You should give them a call. If you have been injured in an accident, you need more than a lawyer. You need an advocate, and that is Ken and Donnie. Check them out online, advocateslaw.com.
At Carl's Jr.
All right. It is September 22, 2025. It's time now for In the News. I am your noted newsman. Hello, thank you. Thank you so much, ladies. Please be seated and all rise. It's brought to you by the Advocates, injury attorneys at advocateslaw.com. Today is National Elephant Appreciation Day.
Go elephants.
I think they're a pretty cool animal.
Yeah. One of my happiest but also saddest moments is we were in Indonesia and we rode the elephants, and then I realized that those were probably like mistreated and abused elephants.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah, those moments are sad. Like, you ever been horseback riding?
Yeah.
Those poor horses are just defeated.
Yep. Like you're it's such a cool experience. Like you're there and then you think about it and you're like, if that horse could, it would kick me in the face and just,
run off like a wild Mustang.
Yeah. Yeah, it was hard. So it was really cool to be that up close with elephants, and then because they try to do oh no, like these elephants are all rescues and they're treated great, and then I got back. Remember, like someone looked it up and sent me an article about the animal abuses at that animal sanctuary. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, some of them they say they're helping, but then they're giving rides and stuff. Yeah. It's like that's not helping.
You ever seen, you see Tula 2? You visited her yet over there at the zoo?
Saw her on Friday.
Oh, she's so
did you go?
We've seen her 4 or 5 times. We take our kids to the zoo.
Yeah, Buck's got the youngins.
She's adorable.
I haven't been to the zoo for years because of that conflict.
She's now going outside, so and she just stays with her mom. It's really cute.
She's super cute, and if you want to restore your faith in elephants, and go watch her play around, because she bounces around and plays.
A little bundle of joy.
Yeah, she really is.
One of these days, I'd like to go on one of the African safaris where, you're in the Jeep and it's just, you can see a herd of elephants or, giraffes or whatever in nature. That's a bucket list thing for me.
My dad and stepmom have done that. They said it's life-changing, phenomenal.
Yeah. A lot of people say their best vacations are African safaris.
Yeah. I just don't want to get, gotta take a lot of different precautions.
Drugs?
Yeah.
Oh. It is also National Centenarians Day, so...
Shout out to the olds.
Well, really the mega olds.
That's the blue zones.
Yeah. Those are people over 100.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
I read that book, The Blue Zones, and it was really good, and then it was also sad when I realized that I, do none of the things.
Yeah. You're not in a blue zone.
No.
Portland ain't no blue zone.
I'm not in a blue zone, nor do I do anything that, is conducive to living to 100. In fact, I do the exact opposite of just about everything you're supposed to do. So I'll be dying in 3, 2, and...
It is the last day of fall. Or, I mean, the first day of fall, sorry.
I was like, huh?
Fall's not over. Summer's over.
The hell just happened?
Yeah. First day of fall. Does it feel like it?
I wore a stocking cap for the first time.
Wow.
Well, it was it was early morning walking the dog. There was a not even a chill. It was
crisp.
It was crisp. It was 51 this morning, and I had to put on the old stocking cap.
Mm.
Which, by the way, I like the cold morning air. When you you go shorts, a long sleeve t-shirt and a stocking cap. Dude, I love that feeling. But you still get the sun. It's not cloudy. It's not raining on you.
5.5 million birds are expected to fly over Oregon tonight on their annual migration south.
Are they dropping little presents for us, or?
Due to the large numbers, the Bird Alliance of Oregon has issued a lights-out red alert, urging people to turn off or dim non-essential outdoor lighting tonight, beginning at 11 p.m. until 6 a.m.
You don't want them. What happens if you turn on the lights?
And they also want you to close your shades to reduce sky glow. They use the stars to help navigate their journey,
Sure.
And artificial light can muffle the stars and lead them to,
So you really don't know.
I'm telling you, they get disoriented. And then they're like, damn it, I'm in Canada.
Okay.
I meant to be in Mexico. I don't know.
I said no, because sometimes I don't know why, but I have one window that birds kill themselves in. There's something about that window. Obviously, there's a reflection or something.
We do too. We had 2 in one day and spent 20 minutes. It was awful.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the suicide window.
I don't know.
And they all know it.
There's something.
As such.
It's the one right above it's in front of the hot tub, and I don't know what goes down, but dude, it's not that uncommon. You'll just be sitting there, you just hear the whack, and you're like, God damn it. Then you go outside and there's the poor bird.
You guys got to start being really careful with your damn it. It's getting very close, both of you.
To what?
To what you can't say.
Yeah, what you can't
GD?
say.
Yeah.
You can't say GD?
No. So I feel bad. So I don't want to I will turn off the light. We have I like exterior illumination. I'm a big fan of the lit up backyard. And I don't want to be responsible for bird
You're a big
deaths.
fan of uplighting.
Love the uplighting.
Yeah, uplighting's great.
Love it.
Well, turn it off tonight, okay?
I will. 11 o'clock, huh?
Yeah, 11 to 6.
How about just when I get home, you know what? The light's not coming on.
A lot of birds.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry about
Carmelo
that.
Anthony.
Sorry
doing
about that, birds. What?
No, isn't that Carmelo Anthony right there?
That does appear to be Carmelo Anthony.
In a
yes.
Yankees hat at the Ravens game.
In a Ravens jersey, I think.
Okay. Up next, what would you do? Well, no, not what would you. Well, yeah. What would you do
It's like a John Quinones thing.
Yes, if you're driving down the freeway.
Yeah.
And you see headlights coming at you from on the wrong side.
I had this happen on SR 500 not too long ago.
What do you do?
911, brother.
But what do you do in the immediate?
Yeah. Well, it's pretty easy.
Do you pull over?
Yeah.
Do you swerve?
Yeah, it's
what do you do?
Luckily,
Because sometimes it's a very fast.
This was not. I saw it coming from a long distance away. But yeah, that is a bit concernicus.
Yeah, this is a irrational fear of mine.
Yeah.
The wrong way driver death, and we had a bad one.
Yeah, it's no good.
Over the weekend. That's next on The Fan.
This is the Fan's window into sports. A view into today's top stories. Brought to you by Window Nation. Online at windownation.com.
Good snap. Good hold. The kick is on the way. The kick is good. The kick is good. And Andre Schmidt from 55.
That was the most NFL thing ever. The freaking Browns beat the Packers. They were down 10-0 with like 4 minutes left, and they won.
I'm still. There was a bunch of those games that were just like, what in the hell? But none of them more what in the hell than that game right there.
50% off all window styles right now at Window Nation. 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 2 full years. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com for a free in-home estimate.
Saving money is smart, and 3 Mountains Home Services make it easy to save with a special offer. Right now, you can book your annual furnace tune-up for only $59. Call 3 Mountains today and pay only $59 for your furnace tune-up. Don't get stuck in the cold with a broken furnace. Now's the time to make sure it's working properly. Get your furnace ready for winter with 3 Mountains Home Services special $59 furnace tune-up. This deal won't last long. Available when you call 3 Mountains by October 8th. 3mountainshomeservices.com. They make home services delightful.
You don't buy a car every day. If we're lucky, we get a new one every 5 years. It's one of those things that's stressful and a lot of the times confusing.
We did more research on how not to get scammed by a dealership than we did on the actual cars we were buying. But when you buy a car from Wilsonville Toyota, all of that stress about negotiating and double-checking every deal goes away.
You work with one person from start to finish, and they have over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. And when you find the car you want, the price you see is the price you get.
That's why their slogan is one person, one price, no bull.
Check out WilsonvilleToyota.com now.
Paid for by Hims and Hers Health. Plans not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at forhers.com apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are FDA approved and are the registered trademarks of Novo Nordisk AS, which is not affiliated with Hims and Hers.
Trying to lose weight? It's time to try Hers. At forhers.com/radio, you can access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss treatments tailored to you. These include oral medication kits and compounded GLP-1 injections, the same active ingredient that's in Ozempic and Wegovy. Through Hers, pricing for oral medication kits starts at just $69 a month for a 10-month plan when paid in full upfront. No hidden fees, no membership fees. Hers brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatments that put your goals first. Reach your weight loss goals with help from Hers. Get started at forhers.com/radio to access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss plans. That's forhers.com/radio.
The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, welcome back. This is In the News for September 22, 2025. Yes, wrong way driver crash on 84. This one was a nasty one out, I think this is by Corbett. That's where I got married.
Oh.
Corbett. We got married up at...
a wonderful place, I hear.
Viewpoint Inn.
Expensive?
No. It wasn't at all. We didn't have a very extensive wedding at all. No. But it was nice. I almost forgot the name, is why I gave you that look. And you should always remember the name of where you were married.
You probably should. Good thing Nurse Nice isn't listening.
But it's all dilapidated now and like grown over. Like it's sad.
Oh.
We went up there not too long ago because remember that whole story with the Viewpoint Inn? That was the one where they filmed Twilight.
Oh yeah.
Cute little place.
And they've kind of let it go now. No one.
Well, no. Remember the owners set it on fire to try to cash insurance money, and they got caught. And it has since just been. It's just sitting up there with, like, all overgrown. It looks like end of days. You know, like And that's
apocalyptic. Like you just see squatters in there now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Seriously, there is like a camper there and some lady. And it's kind of sad.
Well, what a one. Maybe you guys can go back there for your anniversary and smoke some meth.
Yeah, makes us feel bad about our marriage. We're like, God, look at what's happened to our marriage.
It's great.
A driver died early Saturday morning in a crash with a wrong-way driver on 84 in the Columbia River Gorge. The crash was reported at 3:50 a.m. Autumn Breeze Willis of Beaverton was driving west in the eastbound lanes. Boy, I tell you what, man, she's only 26. That's a terrifying.
Was Drinky Poos involved, or
they don't know? It doesn't say.
I always assume that if you're going the wrong way, you're either old or at 3:45 in the morning. I gotta wonder. What were you? Maybe you were come back from a shift and you were tired.
Maybe
I don't
you were
know.
tired, but I often think too. Is there a case to be made that in some parts, and maybe this is one of those parts, in some freeways in Oregon, it's actually not that hard to get going the wrong way on a freeway if there's no one else around.
Yeah.
And the signs are misleading or something.
I think there are some probably places that a little bit of that, but almost instantly you have to know.
Yeah, and just side. Like, why am I? Yeah, just like which side you're on.
This happens. I live over on in Vancouver. McGilvery is one of the main roads in Vancouver, and it is split by a median, right? And it's not that uncommon for me to see someone driving on the wrong side. That blows me away. Because there's two lanes, a median, and then two lanes, and it's through a residential neighborhood. I'm like, how the F have you not figured out that you're on the wrong side? And that's where I'm like, you're either old and confused or you're just S-faced. Because and that's my thing with freeways, there's usually a median. And like at some point, shouldn't you be like, oh my God, I think I'm going the wrong way. But this has happened before, and I immediately call 911. I pull over to the side of the road, and I dial 911 because I'm like, dude, I'm not going to be the one that ignores that and hope that they figure it out on their own. The cops should be aware when someone's going the wrong way, especially on a freaking freeway.
So if you're on a two-laner, so this was 84.
Yeah.
But if you're on a two-laner.
I think that's a little.
And you see somebody in your lane coming right at you.
Yeah.
What do? Do you go into the other lane? Yeah. Or do you pull over? Or try to pull over? Or do you stay?
I try to pull over. I try to pull over, but then I guess you're hoping that you can't swerve at that point. Now you're just at their mercy of hopefully they don't hit you.
Right.
There is someone can tell me what it is. Years ago, we lived in Woodburn. We lived off of Puddin River Road.
Puddin River?
Puddin River.
Man.
Not pudding, but puddin'? Was it Pudding River or was it Puddin River?
It was pudding, but it was funner to say.
Oh yeah,
pudding.
I mean, I like that better too.
And there is whatever the highway, it's the one that runs right in front of the. I guess it would run parallel to the outlets, and it's like what you would take to get from Malala to Woodburn. There's a highway right there, and it's 2 something or other. I don't remember what it is, but it's a long stretch of highway there that runs between Malala and Woodburn. And at night, that is a 2-lane road, and there are ditches on both sides. So there's no shoulder. There is no shoulder. Like, you can't pull over. and it's all rural farming communities, and it is a known death trap out there. Like when you drive in the mornings, you will see beer bottles all along that ditch. There's a lot of people that drive in there and kind of like day workers and farmhands and stuff. And it's just known at night when we lived out there, you did not drive that road at night. It just was not what you did, because there were too many times where you would see someone and you're like laying on your horn and there's no real place to go. And we saw wrecks out there. We lived out there for like 2 years. We saw wrecks all the time. And it just became one of those things where at night, unless you absolutely had to, you tried to stay off of that road because there was no good options. Highway 211, someone is saying.
Well, in this instance, a man by the name of Jeff Flood of Boring, 40-year-old man, was killed. He was in a Tesla. And she was seriously injured and taken to the hospital. Yeah. They closed the interstate for about 5 hours to investigate. And and if
someone's coming really fast and it's at night like that,
I would imagine he had no time.
He probably had no time. Yeah. All of a sudden, because you assume that no one's.
It's curvy through there.
It's curvy, and all of a sudden you just see some lights, and by the time you're like, oh my God, what is? And it's too late. You're head on.
It's brutal. Oh wow, how about that? Good timing. We are done here. That is in the news, September 22, 2025, brought to you by the Advocates, injury attorneys at advocateslaw.com. A wild NFL weekend. We'll get to that next on The Fan.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to
105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Ryan Buckley with this SportsCenter update. First on the Fan on the college gridiron, the Oregon Ducks remain number 6 in the nation after their 41-7 win over Oregon State in the Civil War. Ohio State still number 1 in the country. Miami moves up 2 spots to number 2 in the country. That pushes Penn State down to number 3. Oregon visiting Penn State this weekend for a whiteout in State College. It's a 4:30 p.m. kick with our coverage starting on the Fan at noon. Oregon a 3.5-point underdog when they head to Pennsylvania. They do have some cool new glow-in-the-dark mummy cleats, though. In the NFL, Monday Night Football wrapping up Week 3 features the Lions visiting the Ravens in Baltimore. It's a 5:15 kick on ESPN and ABC. The Ravens favored by 4.5. Some NFL injury news today. 49ers pass rusher Nick Bosa going to miss the rest of the season after tearing his ACL in Sunday's win over the Cardinals. Cowboys star receiver CeeDee Lamb expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks after suffering a high ankle sprain in Sunday's loss to the Bears. And a quiet day in Major League Baseball after the Mariners swept the Houston Astros over the weekend to take the commanding 3-game lead in the AL West. Both the Mariners and the Astros idle today. The M's will open up a 3-game set against the Rockies on Tuesday, while the Astros head to Sacramento for a series with the Athletics. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Ryan Buckley at the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitch. And now Window Nation brings you on-demand videos. Watch Window Nation's Window into the Fan. Primetime with Isaac and Souk.
What do girls want anyway? Well, apparently not total losers. We're pretty good at basketball. Yeah, as long as we don't have to run or jump or dribble or nothing.
Isaac Robb.
Hey, you guys up for a little game?
Sure.
Well, let's make it interesting. Say $20.
How about 50?
You're on.
Jason Sukanik.
Dude, we don't have $50. We don't have 20.
This is Primetime on the Fan Sports Network.
What the hell's up with that? We win, and they get the chicks. That sucks, dude.
105.1 and 1080.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's jobs. We gotta get jobs. Then we get the khakis. Then we get the chicks.
The Fan.
All right. Welcome back. Hope you're having a nice little Monday. It is your Sports Bros. Rob, that's me. Big Souk's right over there. Look at him.
Right here.
Look at him.
Hey.
And there's Ryan Buckley.
According to text
rolling.
What? They said the Viewpoint Inn is back and looking nice.
I just Googled that when I saw that. I didn't know that. And yeah, apparently it's going to be a spa destination for holistic wellness.
What?
Well, you know, that's all the rage.
Some crystals and whatnot.
Right out. Says, yeah. Well, you know, holistic wellness. That's kind of all the rage. Everybody pampering themselves these days, you know.
Yeah.
Taking good care of them. Yeah,
I see it right here.
Yeah. Maybe a nice cold plunge, as we've talked about. We'll be up there.
Right. Well, now you can go back and celebrate your anniversary.
Well, beautiful views up there.
How many years on the 25th? Are you and the lovely Nurse Nice?
We were married in 2009.
I'm putting you on the spot because you don't know. You're like, how many years?
No, 2009. So 16 years.
16 wonderful years.
Can you believe that?
Just like to point out, we've been together longer, and yet I'm not getting the invite to dinner.
No, you're not. All right. Well, coming up this hour, we're going to take a look at some NFL stuff. We haven't hit the NFL yet.
Boy, the NFL was bananas. That early slate of games, the witching hour, boy, that was some interesting stuff right there. Apparently, special teams need a little more practice, people.
Coming up tonight in the club, we'll talk about Tylenol and Oracle.
God.
I said, well, let's see how we say that.
What is he talking about?
I don't know.
That's attempting to pronounce acetaminophen, also known as Tylenol.
I said, well, let's see how we say that.
Oh, he was going to butcher it so bad he stopped.
Yeah.
Correct. I don't know.
Tua tag ovalia.
Maybe should have stopped at Tua.
Well, at least he punted.
Yeah.
So that'll be in the club 6 to 7. Yeah, we've got to check in on do a welfare check on anyone who bet on the Rams.
Boy, that was a tough beat.
You want to talk about a bad beat, dude?
Yeah, that is.
So they were winning 26 to 7.
Yep.
In Philly.
Yep.
As 3.5-point underdogs. Mm-hmm. They line up for the game-winning field goal down 1.
Mm-hmm.
So miss, you don't win, but you still cover.
Yep.
Make, you cover. You cover either way. You're good.
You're fine.
Kick blocked.
Wrong.
Return to the house.
Lose.
3.5-point underdogs. Now they lose by whatever it ended up being, 7, 8.
Yeah, they didn't kick the extra
6.
points. They would have lost by
6.
7.
And so just an absolute, and they were up by 19.
Well, it was one of those. I was watching that game, and the Rams were my Super Bowl pick. I said that if the Rams, if Stafford gives you 14 games, I said the Rams are a Super Bowl team. If not, the Packers. Although the Pack, you want to talk about essing the bed. So both of the teams that I liked crapped the bed in the most spectacular fashion. But they had opportunities to put the Eagles away so many different times, and they couldn't convert on third downs. And I really thought McVay kind of played a cowardly game. I don't know if you've paid attention lately, but dude, there is no more. When it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2, we're going for it. Like, that's just across the league now. Did you see? I think it was Rabel that went for it 4th and 1 from his own 17-yard line.
Wow.
And he went for it.
I love that.
Yeah, and they ran like a little speed option pitch thing.
Ooh,
so
I don't love that.
No, they ended up getting it, but McVay played that thing so conservatively because I just don't think he thought that the Philly offense could do anything. And he was right for 3 quarters, but you let a team hang around and you get 3s instead of 7s. And all of a sudden, you're only up by a couple of scores and Philly can make plays. And all of a sudden they let Jalen Hurts start throwing the ball and you could feel the pucker factor start to tighten. That being said, how can you not execute a freaking field goal? That was just that was the story of the week in the NFL is not being able to execute field goals.
Are teams getting better at blocking field goals?
It has to be.
Or are they getting sloppier kicking field goals?
I just think teams are, I think in big moments, I mean,
the Cleveland block?
The Cleveland block.
Dude.
Blown up.
That was I don't know what kicker gets that ball off.
Yeah. You don't.
That was a really good, it was a good play by Cleveland.
Good play. But the same thing with the Jordan Davis one, dude, he collapsed. And maybe it's just that defensive linemen are so big, but man, he just collapsed that entire line. And I'm not even certain that Jordan Davis is the one that got it. Both guys got the mitts up, and it might have been the other guy. But either way, you're just seeing teams selling out for this. And maybe it's kickers are kicking, these long field goals now. They have to kick lower trajectory, but it does feel like even the ones that go through, it feels like guys are getting close. I think teams are getting better and are committing more resources to blocking kicks.
Well, you had 3 of them in a matter of minutes?
Yeah.
The Cleveland one, the Jets. Was it Jets?
The Rams had 2. The Rams got 2 blocked, and then the Jets had the one that got taken back against the Bucs, and then the Packers had the one that ended up being the game.
Yeah, the Jets one was great because you had Aaron Glenn high-stepping on the sideline, only for them to go on to still lose.
The Jets may not be any good, but I'll take Aaron Glenn doing whatever the hell that thing was, like the Merton Hanks.
Yeah, it was something between Merton Hanks and Ray Lewis. I'm not
that
really
thing
sure.
was phenomenal. I was all about that. Let's go, Aaron Glenn. I love that. He was wearing the Mike McDaniel like culottes. He was wearing the jorts. Yeah. He's out there doing whatever the hell that dance that was. I thought that was great.
Well, we had 7 games with the game-winning score in the final 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's tied for the most in 1 week since 1970.
Yeah. It's just, we know there's bad teams in the NFL, but man, it just feels like even the bad teams can still be competitive. And this is why the NFL is king, man. It feels like no lead is safe anymore. And even the bad teams on a week-to-week basis can give you some absolute drama. Look, the Jets aren't any good. The Steelers aren't any good. The Dolphins aren't any good. And yet, this last week, all of them have played compelling games down to the wire. I mean, look, the Cleveland Browns have no offense to speak of, and I mean that. But that defense, which, by the way, is the number 1 defense in the NFL, that will keep them in every single ball game.
Yeah.
And they are going to play some competitive games. Now, the Ravens blew them out, but in the other 2 losses, 17-16 against Cincinnati, and then they found a way somehow to play in that, or to win that Green Bay game.
They held Cincinnati with Burrow to next to nothing.
Yeah, that defense is legit.
Yeah, but I mean, they have no offense, so it's like
none to speak of.
I don't know. The NFL is fun that way, though, because it's also true that you have a lot of teams struggling on the offensive line.
Yeah,
but they're still really good. Like the Chargers.
Yeah,
like Justin Herbert was running for his life yesterday.
Yes.
The Bucks are shuffling guys right and left. The Packers. That was part of the Packers' problem in that game.
Yep.
I think I read
anybody.
I think I read that they had 2 offensive linemen out last week.
Yes.
Well, those guys came back, and they had all 5 on the offensive line, all 5 starters, for all of 1 play before 2 other guys got hurt.
Well,
so they've been shuffling guys right and left, and yet they were about to be undefeated. The Chargers are undefeated. The Bucs are undefeated. It's weird. It's just the league it's been a wild 3 weeks.
It has.
We had nine non-offensive touchdowns this past week. 9.
What is the record?
That's a good question.
That's got to be pretty close, right?
Well, I also saw that in all the craziness, we had 7 games that had the deciding score come in the final 3 minutes, which was the most has happened in any NFL Sunday since 1970. So you're looking at like 55 years.
So it's good that Ryan Buckley's listening to the program, as I just disseminated that very fact moments ago. He's done it again, folks.
Oh God! The best in the business.
Absolutely incredible.
The best in the business for nothing. It's not like he's got his mind on other things. We love it.
Rolling. What?
Let's see here. So Forglapron?
Nailed it.
This was...
Yeah, Cleveland came down to the wire, right? Steelers, Patriots, Eagles, Rams, Jets, Bucks.
There were 7 of them, but I'm looking at the defensive or the non-offensive touchdowns. And I can't I can't find if that's a record or not.
So, and I don't know whether it's probably a combination. I thought Kurt Warner had a great tweet today. If you want to get smarter at football, go follow Kurt Warner. I love that Kurt gives you one. He's just a brilliant offensive guy, but he actually takes the time and watches the all 22 and really can provide some context. Because I think sometimes when you're watching stuff, you can see an interception and assume that it's because the receiver ran the wrong route or the quarterback was awful. But unless you're watching the all 22 and you have an understanding of the concept, sometimes it's hard to assess blame. And I don't think Kurt Warner jumps to conclusions. And he had a tweet. He goes, it's amazing that it's Monday morning and I'm hearing all these definitive statements on these quarterbacks and these games. He goes, I'm only through like 7 games right now. Maybe I should stop my film study and just listen to everybody else. Because it's true, we make these sweeping statements. And so I don't know how much of this is elite defense and how much of this is bad offense. But there is some real regression happening with offenses in the NFL to where I'm not sure whether you blame that on offensive line play, elite defenses, or what. But there's some offenses that are hard to watch. And
yeah, it's rough.
You know, the Texans and the Jaguars game, there is nothing that comes easy for either one of those offenses. Michael Penix, and again, didn't watch the all 22, didn't watch the entire game, but every time I would flip over to the Falcons and Panthers and you look at the box score, Michael Penix Jr. had one of the worst games that you will ever see from a starting NFL quarterback.
And then you have 3 backups that won.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz won.
Yep.
They put up like 40.
Well,
48.
Some of that is when
the defense.
But
yeah,
poor Jake Browning.
Wentz looked fine, and then you had Mariota winning. He looked good.
Yep.
And you had who's the other one? We had 3rd backup. Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Pulled it out.
McCorkle. And by the way, another one, Nick Bosa, if you haven't heard, Nick Bosa hurt his knee, left the game. He gave the thumbs down on the way out, which usually is not a great indicator. And then we heard after the game that they believed initial tests were not ACL tears. So everyone was like, oh, cool. So hopefully mild sprain. No, clean tear, ACL. Same knee as last time. So he's done for the year. And that is, for a team, I just don't recall any team in any sport. I'm convinced that Levi Stadium is built on an Indian burial ground. There's just no other explanation how a team can have that many injuries. And by the way, Mac Jones is hurt now.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He was limping around out there in a knee brace, but it sounds like Purdy's probably going to play next week. So they're just going to keep rotating guys.
So no Purdy.
No Purdy.
No Ayuk.
Nope.
No Jennings.
Nope.
No
Kittle.
Yep. And now
no Bosa.
Now no Bosa.
God.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's just,
and yet 3-0 somehow.
3-0.
Yeah.
Finding ways.
Fun.
Yep.
Fun league, man.
And by the way, might I add this?
Add it.
And nothing coming easy. Like,
get it.
When you watch good offenses, the best way to put it that I've ever heard is the NFL, every play is a test. And the good offenses look like they have answers to the test, right? Things come easy. You see them kind of scheme things up where it doesn't look like it's pulling teeth. And when you watch bad offenses play, nothing comes easy. And that's why I brought up, like, something is wrong with the Texans and CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud is a really, really good quarterback, and everything they do is pulling teeth. Nothing looks simple.
They have bad offensive line.
They do. And it's just, it is a rough
new
go.
Offensive coordinator kind of sucks too.
And the old one did too. They went from Slowick to this new guy, and it still doesn't look like they have any sense of what they're doing. I am not writing them off. Far from it. Write them off at your own peril. You know who's starting to look like this? And by the way, this isn't just over 3 games. This goes back to portions of last season. The Chiefs.
Yeah.
Everything
not good.
Everything they do on offense is pulling teeth. They do not have easy answers to the test anymore. And I know that eventually they're going to get some guys back, but this no longer, at some point, you got a spade is a spade. And they do not look cohesive, and they are not getting easy things on offense anymore. And the numbers are going back now. And it's funny because they were in the Super Bowl last year. But even with that, it just hasn't been a real cohesive unit. And I think it's starting to get to be a real concern with them. And you're seeing it boil over on the sidelines.
All right. Lions, Ravens underway. I should point out that Jared Goff looks like he's in the middle of a mean mullet grow out.
Golf.
He's got a little something happening.
Yeah, he's growing out a mullet.
Is he feathering?
Kinda.
I hope so. I want the feather to come back.
It's getting close, but I think he's just kind of he's in that no man's land right now.
Well, and more importantly, and if we're doing hair news, Lamar has taken the hair out of the braids.
Yeah.
And he's got a Samuel Jackson Pulp Fiction thing happening right now, and I'm all about it.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Look at his did you see his grill?
Yes.
Dude.
There's some activator in that, and he's throwing the grill in. Let's go.
All right, so we'll keep you posted on that. Lions-Ravens should be a good one tonight on Monday Night Football. Coming up next, when is the last time Bo Nix beat a good team?
Ooh, good question.
Because I've done a little homework on this.
That is a pretty good question.
And so we'll get to that next here on 105.1 The Fan.
He's back.
Liberty in the bowl game. No. One was BYU. Yeah. 2 were against Utah. And that's, I mean, those are nice wins, but again, you see a theme of these aren't the elite ranked teams. And then I'm trying to think of, one of them was Oregon State. And then, gosh, I'm missing one. There was one other ranked, and it wasn't an elite team. So he lost to Georgia. Yeah. He lost to Washington all 3 times. He lost to Oregon State one time. And they were ranked, actually, that game. They came back and beat them.
That was the how many straight runs.
Yeah, so, I mean, dude, and then the other bowl game that they won was North Carolina, and they weren't even ranked. Yeah. So he did not beat anyone really. I know what the other ranked win was. It was actually his best ranked win by numbers was they beat number 9 UCLA. But
UCLA was 9.
They were, but not really. Like, see what I mean?
It was kind of like Illinois was. Illinois is number 9, and they don't end up being the 9th best team.
No, I didn't go back to Auburn.
Yeah,
because he spent 3 years at Auburn. So I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We just took his time at Oregon.
Of course, he did beat Oregon that first game.
Touche.
But dude, that guy does not beat good teams. It's the weirdest thing, and of course, that's not all about. No. It's not all him. Yeah. He's just one player. I'm just saying it's a kind of an odd dynamic. But he needs to get over the hump against the good teams, man.
Well, we knew coming in that Bo Nix was going to be a very interesting storyline because it was up and down last year, started ugly, got really good, had some bad moments, but overall, I think you were very, very excited about Bo Nix and Sean Payton and a lot of weapons and it was really exciting. And right now you're sitting there at 1-2 and I don't think you're necessarily thrilled, but if you're going to look glass half full sort of stuff, those losses, Denver probably looks at those and we should have won both of those games. But again, that goes back to if he plays a little bit better, I think he's 5 touchdowns, 3 picks, and they're not exactly moving the ball at will. That's just kind of one of those to keep an eye on because we always do this with rookie quarterbacks that have some success. We assume that it's going to keep going up and up and up. And a lot of times with quarterback production, it's more kind of peaks and valleys. They do have Cincinnati next week, so.
Well, if you look at their next 8, they're going to make some hay.
Sure.
Because they do play at Philly in week 5.
Yeah, they got Cincinnati, then at Philly, and that one will be tough. But then they got the Jets, Giants, Cowboys, Houston, and Vegas.
There's 5. That could be 5 wins in a row right there. Be.
Just with your defense alone, you should be able to run roughshod. I saw a straight up and against the spread number for the 2 New York teams. I'll see if I can find it. This goes back to like 2019. It was like, you ever see one of those ones where you look at it and you're like, that can't be right? Like just the Jets and the Giants over like the last 7 years, the futility on that with those 2 teams, it is like shocking.
Who would it be worse to be a fan of? The Jets or the Giants right now? I mean, like in the last 7 years or whatever. Ooh. Probably the Giants, right?
I would think. Yeah, I mean, the Jets, yeah.
Jets, you had the Rodgers hope.
But it wasn't all that long ago that the Giants actually won a freaking Super Bowl. It's been so much longer for the Jets.
That's true.
And also you've got a quarterback that you like in Dart. Whereas I don't know what you got in New York. Or I guess both New York with the Jets.
Okay, so here you go. The Jets and the Giants have played a combined 30. It was night games, primetime, because the Giants last night against the Chiefs just crapped the bed.
Dude, they suck. And by the way, can I just point before you get to this stat?
Yeah.
Can we point out how bad Russell Wilson was in week 1 and also in week 3?
Yeah.
The one time he was good, what an indictment on the Cowboys defense.
Did you see the history he made?
Oh my God.
He's the first quarterback ever to go under 200 yards and no touchdowns week 1, over 440 and multiple touchdowns week 2, and then go back to under 200 yards and no touchdowns
How
week 3.
bad is the Cowboys defense?
I saw a great, there was someone made like a Scooby-Doo meme, where like you rip the mask off or whatever. And it was a Russell Wilson, like, he fooled you in week 2. And then it was like, ha, I've been Russell Wilson all along.
Gee, man. Anyway,
the Jets and the Giants have played a combined since 2019. This is one of those, like, if you're a bettor, 39 night games combined since the start of the 2019 season. They are 5-34 straight up in those games, including 4-18 at home.
Yikes.
So if they're playing a primetime game, just understand that they are going to lose. Just 5-34 in night games. My God, Jets and Giants. Stop putting them on primetime.
Hey, how about those Seahawks, huh?
Yeah.
We'll get to that next. Here's Buck.
Now, Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Ryan Buckley with this Sports Center update. First on the Fan, Monday Night Football is underway, wrapping up Week 3 in the NFL. The Lions visiting the Ravens. The action's over on ESPN and ABC. That game now tied at 7 as Derrick Henry rumbles in for a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs got the Lions on the board with a rushing touchdown of his own. They're still in the first quarter of that one. In the college game, the Oregon Ducks remain number 6 in the nation after their 41-7 win over Oregon State in the Civil War. The Ohio State Buckeyes still number 1. Miami moves up 2 spots to number 2 in the country. That pushes Penn State down to number 3. The number 6 Ducks and number 3 Nittany Lions meet this week in State College for a whiteout. It's a 4:30 p.m. kick with our coverage here on the Fan starting at noon. Oregon, 3.5-point underdogs headed to Pennsylvania. Some injury news out of the NFL today. 49ers pass rusher Nick Bosa tore his ACL in Sunday's win over the Cardinals. He'll miss the rest of the season. Cowboys star receiver CeeDee Lamb expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks after suffering a high ankle sprain in Sunday's loss. And then the association reports out of Houston Rockets minicamp that point guard Fred VanVleet has torn his ACL and he will likely miss the entire season for the Rockets. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Ryan Buckley, George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Curtain missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The home of dirt and spray. Weekday mornings 6 to 10 a.m. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Hey, it's your Window Daddy for Window Nation, where just about a week left here. About a week left on this deal that they have where you can get 50% off any window style that you purchase from Window Nation. So half off, doesn't matter how many windows you need, 50% off all of them. And if you don't have all the cash up front, 0 down, 0 payment, 0 interest for 2 years. So you could pay nothing until 2027. So if you've been putting off buying new windows for your home, I get why, but now would be the time to strike with Window Nation. Take it from your window daddy here. If your windows are drafty or leaky, it's the time to act. Window Nation, a proud partner of the Thorns as well. So if you want to go to a Thorns game, you replace all your windows with them. You could win a pair of tickets to the home game or a VIP experience. Window Nation was recently ranked highest on Forbes' list of best window installation companies. So you can trust them. They're high quality, affordable windows. It's all they do. And they're going to give you half off right now. So this sale ends September 30th. Okay, so 8 days and this is over. Don't miss out. It's one of their best deals of the year. Schedule a fast, free estimate right now with Window Nation by calling 866-90-NATION, 866-90-NATION, or visiting windownation.com. License number OR249065.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years
Isaac and Suk on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Well, the Seahawks had a laugher against the stupid Saints. They're terrible. You should probably turn on your mic if you want anybody to hear you.
That thing was over early. I mean,
I read that the Seahawks, so their first 4 possessions, they scored 4 tutties.
Yeah.
In 15 plays.
That's a nice way to go about it. You just kind of put it out of reach.
They possessed the ball for 7 minutes and 41 seconds in the first half and led 38-6.
Yikes. Yeah, well, I mean, so this is their drive chart. 6 plays, 55 yards, touchdowns, 232. Blocked punt. 2 plays, 11 yards, 28 seconds. 3 plays, 38 yards, touchdown. 4 plays, 76 yards, $152, touchdown. So yeah,
like I said, 15 plays, 4 touchdowns in their first 4 possessions.
And some of that is New Orleans stinks.
They're a joke.
They're a bad football team. But the thing about Seattle, like, I don't know. I thought Seattle was a playoff team. Still think they're a playoff team. That loss against the Niners, that one stings because it was there for you. The good thing about Seattle, and I don't think Seattle is elite by any stretch of the imagination, but they have one of the softest schedules in all of the NFL. And all of a sudden, you got a team in San Francisco that, while they are 3-0, that's a team that you would assume eventually the injuries piling up. You would think the Niners come back down to earth. The Rams aren't going anywhere, but you win 10, 11 games and you're in this mix, and you look through the Seattle schedule. If this is the Seattle defense, and I do believe that the Seattle defense is legit, I think that's going to be an upper echelon top 10 defense. There's not a lot of these offenses that are going to scare you. You play the Cardinals, the Bucks are good, the Jags who can't play offense, the Texans who can't play offense, the Titans who can't play offense, the Falcons who can't play offense, the Panthers. I mean, there's just, I think that this is setting up as if the offense can kind of grow, develop, get the run game going. Darnold just settles in. We know that Sam is not elite, but if he can be a version of what you saw with the Vikings, I think this sets up well. I think despite that horrible loss against the Niners, I think you have to be really bullish right now on the way that Seattle looks.
Well, I mean, the NFC West is just going to look better this year.
Yeah.
Because they're lined up against that crappy ass NFC North.
Yes.
I mean, they're all playing New Orleans and Atlanta and Carolina, and I guess
you mean the NFC South.
Or I'm sorry, NFC South. Tampa's, they're tough, but
and Tampa's good, but
again, they have offensive line issues.
Yeah, and I don't think Tampa is going to. I mean, Tampa's 3-0, but again, I think it was Drew Brees that said this, and yeah, take it for what it's worth. It is Drew Brees. Drew Brees said the only difference between the Saints and the Buccaneers are 2 plays at the end of games, and look, I think there's that's
what?
I'm gonna I mean, because he point is New Orleans has been in some games.
Those two things are not the same.
Thank you, and the Buccaneers took the Falcons to the wire, the Texans to the wire, and the Jets to the wire, and quite frankly, that blocked kick probably should have done them in. I give the Buccaneers some credit; those are gritty plays, but I think to his point and to what you're looking at, like if you're a Seahawks fan, the Buccaneers are 3-0. That ain't exactly a game that you walk into and say, we don't have a chance, especially now that Mike Evans could be staring at another hamstring. He could be out for a significant period of time. And as you mentioned, they have offensive line woes. So I just think I'm excited. I think what Seattle is building right now is a bit of a bully. And as that run game develops, that defense is going to keep them in games. I wish there was a higher level of quarterback play. Jackson Smith-Njigba is going to be a star receiver for you. And you heard this all training camp that Torrey Horton, the kid out of Colorado State, is better than anyone realizes, and he's been showing up. If they can find a consistent run game and keep both backs healthy, because it kind of feels like it's one or the other. If you get both of these guys going and you really develop that run game where you can work the play action pass, I'm excited. I'm excited for the Hawks.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they kind of have to stay on script, don't you?
Yes.
I mean, like it.
100%.
You get a defense that, like San Francisco, that warms them up.
Yeah.
It looks bad.
Yes.
It can look bad. So I think that's probably what you're going to see with them. Their defense is consistent. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
But you're going to see some real highs and lows when it comes to their offense.
And I think that is what, and I think they know that that's what it is. Like if Sam Darnold is throwing the ball 35 times, It's not great. And you look at his splits, he needs to be a guy that plays under center, that works play action pass, which is why you brought in Kubiak. And the nice part is that when you have an elite defense, you should be able to play that way. You shouldn't have to be in the gun and being like, hey, it's 3rd and 7. If Seattle's in 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7s on a consistent basis, it might be might be a rough day for you.
My point is, you look at you mentioned some of the teams that they're playing, and no, some of those teams don't have much of an offense. But what I would counter with is that they do have pretty good defenses, and that could be like the Houston game. Yeah. Houston, it's a Monday night game.
It'll be a rock fight.
They're coming to Seattle. I guarantee you, yes, that is going to be a slug.
Yeah.
Right? Tampa can play defense.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona can play defense. You get them twice in the next 6 games. Washington plays defense. Rams certainly have a nasty defense. Even Tennessee has shown a little bit on defense.
Yeah.
So that would be the part where I would worry about Seattle.
This
But
is, by the
they
way,
could very easily, like you said, if you look at their schedule, they could be 6-1 going into the bye.
I thought this was a playoff team. There's nothing I've seen so far that tells me this isn't a playoff team, but it's 3 weeks in. You mentioned the Texans, and I'm a big CJ Stroud guy, and I've kind of been going down the road the last year now plus of something's going on in Houston. And I get that sophomore slumps happen, but when you watch CJ Stroud play, there is so much to like, and he just isn't, he's getting no help. And this came across my timeline today. In his first 20 games of his career, CJ Stroud was throwing for 274 yards. He had 30 touchdowns and 8 picks. In his last 15 games, he is throwing for 196 yards per game. He has 15 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. And he is only one of 5 quarterbacks this season with more INTs than TDs. The Texans are ruining CJ Stroud before your very eyes. And you watch that. The only real offensive play they had yesterday was a broken coverage where the guy fell down and Nico Collins ended up going in. They are,
it's rough.
You are watching what I think is an elite potential quarterback be destroyed before your very eyes by playing in front of a bad O-line without a run game to speak of and no cohesive offensive plan.
So who needs to get out of their situation more?
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow or CJ Stroud?
Both, but Joe Burrow because of the injury concerns. They will Andrew Luck him. And the problem is that they've embraced this Joe Burrow system of, at least the Texans don't have an identity. They don't know what they want to be. So maybe someone can convince them to find a real offensive coordinator and to go back to what we were doing at the start of his career. I feel like Cincinnati, they're like, this is the way Joe Burrow operates. So we don't need an O-line. We're just going to put him back in shotgun. They don't even attempt to run any sort of play action. They're just like, all right, Joe, we'll put you back in the gun, diagnose it, try to keep plays alive, and basically just play 1-on-11. And they don't do anything else, and they're going to get him killed.
By the way, how bad was Cincinnati this weekend? I know Burrow's out, but geez.
Yeah. Well, when you have
Yikes.
when you don't even attempt to, when you don't even make an attempt, someone had a great clip of, Minnesota plays that too high Brian Flores, look that gives people so many problems. And you knew as a young quarterback, the last defense you want to see is Brian Flores. And so Cincinnati came out and Cincinnati was like, okay, we're going to try to protect our quarterback, unlike Joe Burrow. So we're going to run a lot of play action and we're going to try to make the defense honest. Dude, Brian Flores, within 3 plays in that game, was playing 2 high safety looks 16 yards away from the ball, laughing at Cincinnati, being like, you have no ability to run on us, so enjoy your little foolish play. They made him, dude, they warmed that. He had no idea what was happening. None. 0 chance to succeed in that scheme against Flores and that defense.
All right, Football Talk on the Fan presented by Paramount Plus. Sylvester Stallone is back in the original hit series Tulsa King. This season, Dwight faces his most dangerous adversaries yet, forcing him to fight for everything he's built and to protect his empire. Stream the new season of Tulsa King Sunday, September 21st, exclusively on Paramount Plus. That was yesterday, though. We need a new read.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Oh, well.
Hey, just tune in to Paramount
Yeah,
Plus.
just keep watching it.
Damn it.
Yeah. Damn it.
Just listen and watch.
Yeah. First chink in the armor of Dusty's leadership right there. He's supposed to be the one sending us those.
Unbelievable.
How about that?
Yeah. Either way, Stallone's great. Watch Tulsa King.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, we'll wrap up week 3 with the Cowboys Bears next on the Fan.
It's time for a Ducks Report, the inside story on Ducks athletics. Brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
And the 18-year-old fights him off. Here comes Cole Hocker. Less than 100 meters to go. Cole Hocker to the lead. Cole Hocker, world champion.
Okay, any context
Who had
there?
hot Cole Hocker?
That is former Olympian, former Oregon Duck, Cole Hocker winning the gold in the 5,000 meter at the Tokyo Track and Field World Championship.
World ponytail
He
champion.
was in like 8th place with a lap to go.
Can I
and
ask a
just crushed
question?
people.
Yeah.
How far is 5,000 meters?
That's a ways.
Well, 1,600 is a mile. So
it's like
Okay,
4
so-
plus miles.
Okay. Hey,
Wait, 3?
That's great.
It's 5K. It's
Mods
3.18.
Mods PDX, the future of building is here.
If you're considering new construction and want it done right and fast by a team that's focused on innovation, collaboration, and creativity, you want Mods
1080 AM.
All right, wrapping up our Week 3 NFL Wasabi here. Boy, the Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, Jerry, good thing you shored up that run defense, dude.
Well, I love it that he's the only...
Wasn't that what he said when they traded Micah? He's like, well, we really need to get better against the run.
Smiles and glory
And they were pretty good against the run against Chicago, but they got torched.
He's the only owner that has a press conference every week. Like, you embarrass yourself on national television, and the coach doesn't speak, but you do.
Dude, they are a 64-yard field goal away from being 0-3.
Yes.
And then what would we be saying about them?
Well,
because again,
the same thing we're saying now, and they're not a serious team.
So Diggs got hurt in this game against Chicago.
CeeDee Lamb's hurt.
Kenny Clark got hurt, and CeeDee Lamb's out 4 weeks.
Yeah, he's got a high ankle sprain. Look,
dude,
it's
bad.
It's sunk. Like you're right. As bad as that's all you need to know. And I get you can't be like, well, you lost to this team, therefore, that doesn't work. But you lost to the Eagles, and we know the Eagles are good. You got shredded by the Bears. More importantly, you couldn't score on the Bears, and everyone scores on the Bears. You are right. I didn't even think about that. You are one 64-yard Hail Mary field goal away from losing and getting lit up by Russell Wilson and the Giants. And by the way, the Packers come next. Micah Parsons, no CeeDee Lamb. They are going to row your ass down the river. It is going to get ugly. And this is the Cowboys. They're just and Jerry can come out and make all the excuses that you want. The Cowboys are sinking right now.
You know who their defensive coordinator is? Remember who they hired?
I think
did
I
they
do.
I'm trying to remember who they got.
Is it Matt Eberflus?
Yes.
Yeah.
They hired a guy nobody else wanted.
No.
Well, what are they doing?
They hired two people no one else wanted because they also hired a Schottenheimer that no one wants.
Yeah, but I think Schottenheimer showed a tad promise so far.
I just know that you hired a head coach that not a single other team.
Yeah, nobody was going.
No one was going to take a look at him. So you hired two people basically off the scrap heap. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Now you throw some injuries in there. The guy that you brought in to shore up your defense is out. And look, say what you will about Green Bay crapping that thing away. Before that, Green Bay looked like a juggernaut. Something tells me there's going to be a get-right game next week for Green Bay. Yeah, and that's in Dallas.
So they get Micah next week.
Yeah.
And then they play the Jets and Panthers.
Yeah.
Both on the road, but they have a chance to get a couple wins there.
Now I got to look. 24-48. Do they have the worst? Like, who is the worst defense in the NFL?
Oh, it's got to be Dallas, doesn't it?
I'm going to take a look and see where
when Chicago when Russell Wilson torches you.
And that's the one. Like, that's like,
what's your metric?
I know that's what I'm going to look at.
Yards isn't necessarily.
I know. I always go with like points or, a lot of people use total yards allowed or whatever, but I tend to be more of a points guy, but I'm going to pull this up and see where we're at. Hey, on the plus side, if we're going by yards, the Cowboys are the second worst defense in the NFL behind the New York Giants. They are giving up 397 yards per game. And if we go with points,
they're 28th in points.
Hey, look at that.
The Bears, Jets, Titans, and Dolphins have all given up more points on average.
Jeez.
But that's rough, man.
Have fun if you're the Cowboys. And now, again, no CeeDee Lamb and
Cowboys.
Yeah, hey, about them Cowboys. Let's keep having those press conferences. Cowboys.
To have agreements,
hey, Pickens
all
looked pretty
parties
good.
have to agree.
Yeah, Pickens is.
So,
yeah.
that's
and that running back's pretty good. That little who's that guy? Where'd they get that cat?
Which one?
Is he a rookie?
No, he's coming off.
Talking about Deuce Vaughn, the little dude.
No, not Deuce Vaughn. They
Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams.
Yeah,
He came from Denver.
Yeah, he's from Denver. He was the one that had the knee injury, and so he's come back. Yeah, he actually was good when he was healthy, and then he kind of fell off, and he had the knee injury. So yeah, he's bounced back.
I was thinking to myself, wow, Dallas actually has a running back finally.
Yeah,
but he fumbled. So
look, things are not going great in Dallas, and every time Jerry Jones has a press conference, I just laugh a little bit more. Like I said, it's not a serious organization. There's years where, they do draft well. I'll give them that. And there's years where they've been good in the regular season. I think Dak is better than people give him credit for. They do a nice job of putting out an O-line, but it's not a serious organization. It's just not. They cannot get out of their own way.
All right. Well, am I to take Tylenol or not?
I believe the direct quote.
I said, well, let's see how we say that.
There you go.
Am I to take Tylenol or not?
Well, do you want autism? By the way, is there a lawsuit comment on that? Can you stand at the pulpit and say that a drug with no proof gives you autism?
I think you can. I think we just did.
Just did.
We'll start there in the club next on The Fan.
Duck fans, football season is
Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brian Buckley with this Sports Center update. First on The Fan, Week 3 in the NFL wrapping up with Monday Night Football right now. It's the Lions visiting the Ravens in Baltimore. Detroit just punching in a run from the goal line. David Montgomery with the score. That'll put them up 14-7 pending the PAT. Some injury news around the NFL this week. 49ers pass rusher Nick Bosa tore an ACL in Sunday's win over the Cardinals. He'll miss the rest of the season. Cowboys star receiver CeeDee Lamb is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks after suffering a high ankle sprain in Sunday's loss to the Bears. A quiet day in Major League Baseball after the Mariners swept the Houston Astros over the weekend to take a commanding 3-game lead in the AL West. Both the Mariners and Astros idle today. The M's will open up a 3-game set against the Rockies on Tuesday. The Astros going on the road to face the Athletics in Sacramento. And in the association, reports out of Rockets minicamp that point guard Fred VanVleet has torn his ACL, and he was likely to miss the entire NBA season. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Ryan Buckley at the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of Ducks game day. Before and after every Ducks football game this season. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. The following program may not be suitable for children. Hold on to your butts. As the sun sets over Slabtown, in the shadows of the Fremont Bridge, a club comes to life where you can let your freak flag fly.
There's a new fiesta in the making as we speak. Full kegs. Everybody's gonna be there. You ought to go.
The only thing that's off limits are the words you can't say thanks to the FCC.
They don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
We've given away too much to arrive at these political compromises. Yeah.
Google me, bitch.
Oh no, oh no.
Well, my.
Something wrong.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Hey, Lane, give it.
Who's winning? What is occurring?
She poops at parties.
They have a white running back. Bottom line, they're ass.
Wow! Okay, we apologize.
No.
It's time for the club, baby. On 105.1 and 1080, The Fan. Hoo-wee.
You're an idiot, too.
Thank you, David.
Nice to have you along. Club tonight will be wild and crazy.
Is it?
Can't you hear it in my voice?
Is it going to be wild? You're like that. There's nothing better when that guy that is like his whole life is PG-13 and he's like, oh golly, it's gonna get wild in Vegas tonight. Vegas isn't ready for us. No, I think Vegas is properly prepared for what you're bringing to the table.
Planning to hit those penny slots past midnight, and it's a big deal.
We're going to a strip club. They won't see the likes of us coming. Nah, I think they're gonna be all right. Love that. Take the city down. Bang the city head on.
So what did we learn today? Did we learn that autism is caused by acetaminophen?
I don't.
Tylenol. So the pregnant lady's taking Tylenol.
I heard today that...
Is that what it is?
A direct quote that I heard today was, they're too poor in Cuba to buy Tylenol, therefore no one in Cuba has autism. That is an actual quote that was said. So
And the science does not. Shockingly, the science does not back this.
I don't.
Is that what I am to believe?
True story.
I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore.
Yeah. Quote: people in Cuba can't afford to buy Tylenol, and they have virtually no autism.
Is that true? I mean, you know.
He prefaces it by saying, "I'm not sure if this is true or not," and then looks over to Robert F. Kennedy, who goes, "We have some studies."
Good times.
I don't know. Man.
So am I to take Tylenol?
Are you pregnant?
Am I going to catch the tism?
I don't.
I'm not pregnant.
Then I think you're fine.
Okay.
I think you can keep taking. I'm sure the makers of Tylenol right now were thrilled. Literally, as he was getting off the pulpit, he was like, "Don't take Tylenol. Don't."
Who makes Tylenol? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Who's the
Who makes?
I just kind of always thought Tylenol made Tylenol.
Right? Yeah, I kind of thought that. It is Johnson & Johnson.
Of course.
Acquired McNeil in 1959, soon after adult Tylenol was launched. Yeah, so. Oh, now it's spun off into a second thing called something else, but it's Johnson & Johnson. But I want some of that Johnson & Johnson. Let's go. Some of that JJ money. All I know is I was told yesterday that the biggest announcement ever was coming. We solved autism.
Yeah.
And the response is don't take Tylenol. So
But also consult with your doctor, and also if you are going to take it, maybe just take one, and also vaccines might be bad for babies because they give them to them like horses.
I don't know, man.
I have a quote here.
Move to Cuba and it won't be an issue. Basically what I'm learning is just be poor and move to Cuba.
So I have a quote here from Ann Bauer. She is an epidemiologist at the University of Massachusetts.
If you even consider that to be a real school.
So there's a Harvard study where they found that women who reported taking acetaminophen while they were pregnant seemed to be slightly more likely to have a child who was later diagnosed with autism.
And so we've cured autism.
Slightly. So Anne says she thinks pregnant women should be told about a possible risk from acetaminophen.
That's good.
But the researcher, she was also worried that it might be too soon to have the federal government offering guidelines such as these. She says, I'm a little concerned about how this message is going to come because I think they may be jumping the gun a little bit. I think those of us in the research community would like to see stronger evidence. always love it when people dance around. Well, we must see. Just call it what it is. Diagnoses of autism have risen over the past 2 decades, though use of acetaminophen has not, remaining largely steady. The increase.
Let's see how we say that.
Hasn't it been around since the 60s? It was like 1959.
The increase in diagnosis is often attributed to the broadened definition of autism, with changes in the diagnostic criteria as well as increased awareness and screening. But Kennedy, our fearless,
he's the health czar,
health guy.
Yeah,
what's his title? I forget his title. What do they call him?
Oh, look
Kennedy's title.
He's the Secretary of Health.
He is the United States Secretary of Health and Human Services.
No, that's not what I thought it was.
Or they often just call him the Health Secretary, right?
So he dismissed those explanations.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
so that's where we're at.
We're living in glorious times. That's all I know.
In other news, Oracle has taken over TikTok for U.S. TikTok users. Did you see that?
Is that still a thing? Are we fighting with them anymore, or has that been
fighting with who? Oracle?
Well, no.
By the way, what does Oracle do? Am I dumb? Yes, don't answer that. Of course I am dumb.
Yeah.
I kind of don't really know what Oracle does.
Computer processors, right?
Yeah, it's like a software company, right?
Sure.
Or hardware company?
Wasn't that
Oracle is a
Larry Ellison's
corporation, is an American multinational technology company headquartered in Austin, Texas, co-founded by one
Larry Ellison.
Larry Ellison, who's like the fourth richest guy in the world.
And isn't he insane?
Yes, I think he's a little bit crazy. I still wanted him to buy the Blazers because he's got that FU money.
Yeah, so they're saying TikTok's algorithm will be licensed for the U.S. users to Oracle.
So that means
so they'll take it over.
So they'll get all of your
Whatever
information and not China, and then they'll get
right.
So it's going into the hands of crazy ass old Larry Ellison as opposed to the Chinese government now. So we're supposed to feel good. No, maybe. I like the fact that I remember we had those congressional hearings about TikTok, and they had the TikTok boss on there, and one of the congressmen was up there grilling him, and he goes, and you guys are just taking all of that information, you're stealing it. And the guy goes, sir, they give it to us freely when they sign up for our app. He's like, whoa. It's right there. We asked for it and they hand it over. Dude, no young kid gives two craps about any of that. They just want to see their dances and the hots on there, and they just give over their information.
So I was looking at a list of companies that don't do what you think they do. Based off of my...
Is that Oracle?
Yeah, I don't know. Oracle does, what do they, fix your teeth? I don't know. They're a huge company. I should know what they do, but I don't.
No.
Is it true that Lego is the biggest tire manufacturer in the world?
Lego? No.
Because
that's
there's
not right,
so
is
many
it?
Lego tires. No, I wouldn't think so.
Well, that's, I think, Firestone, right? By the way, have you seen the new Firestone ads that are out there? Those things are fire.
What does that mean?
Explain
everything you just said.
For whatever reason now, when I'm watching sports, I keep seeing the ads for Firestone tires. Dude, and I'm telling you, it's like the best ad on TV right now. It's like whatever the 100th anniversary of Firestone tires. And they have everything from like NASCAR to IndyCar to like F-15s like flying off, and they're all made, all on Firestone tires. It's and then they do they just like everything that Firestone's involved with. It's kind of, that might actually be Goodyear. It might not be Firestone, it might be Goodyear, the Goodyear tires.
Okay.
I stand corrected.
By the way, Michelin, the number one tire manufacturer. Although I am reading an article here, it says Lego is actually the world's biggest tire manufacturer. Because
they make tires for Legos?
I would assume that's what that means, right? I mean, they're not making real tires.
Yeah, this is right here. According to AI, yes, Lego makes tires, but they're not the tires you would find in a real vehicle. Lego tires are typically made of plastic and are designed to be used on Legos. So yes, they are the largest tire. They make more tires than anyone else, but they're just made for Legos.
Yeah, so they're technically the world's largest tire maker. So that is true.
I don't think that works. So,
but it's true.
How about it? Yeah, each year Lego makes 318 million.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that
tires.
like saying Fisher-Price is the world's biggest car maker because they make more toy kid cars than anybody else?
Yes.
I mean, that's
technically
not...
true.
It's semantics.
It's a kind of car.
But anyway, don't look at the Firestone. Look at the Goodyear commercials that are going on. It kind of makes me want to buy tires. I get all like,
wow.
You
are a marketing exec's dream.
Well, every now and then, like, you see a commercial and it works. You're like, it gets you all like welled up with like American pride or something. You're like, hell yeah, man, freaking Goodyear tires. It's just like all this like hyper masculine, like people doing cool stuff, and in the background of it all is there's Goodyear tires, and then they show the blimp, and they get done. And I'm like, hell yeah, Goodyear. And then I'm like, wait, I don't have Goodyear tires. Like, I want some good. Now, I'm not going to go out and buy Goodyear tires, but it makes me wish I had Goodyear tires on my car. It's a really cool ad. I see it's just been going around all the NFL games.
I don't pay any attention to ads. I really don't. Like, I mean, I see them and I remember them, or like a jingle or a funny ad or whatever, but I can never remember what it's for.
Well, to be fair, I thought it was Firestone.
Yeah, exactly.
And
you would think that would be a problem for advertising, right? Like, nobody ever remembers, but they say advertising works.
Oh. Yeah. Well,
and I'm sure it works on me, but I never remember the actual company that advertised. That I remember. I remember the ad, but not the company.
It would be one of those things that if I was in the market for tires right now, and it's true because I have an EV. Did you also know, fun fact about EVs, they go through tires like you wouldn't believe because of the.
I have heard that.
Dude, it's like alarming. You're like, oh crap.
I love Tesla.
The weight of them, because they weigh so much, and then there's so much torque. Like when you just step on the gas and it goes. Apparently, you go through. I had no idea. I'm like, oh my god! Like, you can have a set of 25,000 mile tires. You ain't getting 25,000 miles on those bad boys. You get like half the shelf life. But if I were suddenly in the market for tires right now, I promise you, the first thing I would look at is Goodyear tires, because it's in the front of my mind. The start of the commercial is the scene from Back to the Future where Doc Brown's sitting there with Marty. And he goes, when this baby hits 88, you're going to see some serious. And then.
Okay, so I have seen that.
I think I have seen that. I guess I just didn't put it together. It was for Goodyear.
Then it shows like an F-16 getting ready to take off. And then it shows like a NASCAR. And then it goes back to the DeLorean. And it's just all like these clips of like
America,
this. Yeah, like America. All on the background of Goodyear tires.
Yeah,
and I'm telling you, it makes me want freaking Goodyear tires now.
Yeah, trucks, balls, yeah.
I'm a little upset that my tires aren't Goodyear.
Who knew that Souk would be? What should I say? I'm trying to filter my words.
Oh, ads work on me, 100%.
No, I know, but who knew you would? Like, the two things that would make your pants the tightest the last week have been Rocco Becht and Michelin.
Goodyear, thank you.
Or I mean, Goodyear. Sorry.
Goodyear tires.
Yeah.
Rocco, oh my Rocco.
Dude, ads work on me though. Like, I'll see an ad for. Here's the other one.
Don't they work on everybody?
They have to. I mean,
like, it's proven. It's science.
Yes. The one that's pissing me off right now, and I feel like it should be illegal. You should not be allowed. I want RFK. Now that we're eliminating Tylenol, it should be illegal to run commercials for things that aren't available in my area. Because I keep seeing these damn Chili's commercials for the apps at Chili's.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get back to Mexico City for that.
No Chili's. I got Dan Campbell in there telling me that I got 80,000 options with my new Chili's menu or whatever.
And on the way up, we're gonna bite a kneecap off.
Dan, I want to bite some kneecaps and some Southwestern egg rolls, and I can't because there's no Chili's.
Are those just NFL?
Yeah,
like
the
national
ads.
Yeah.
And it's horse crap. Because every time I see one, I'm like, oh my God, they got spicy tendies and Southwestern egg rolls and Dan Campbell, 3 of my favorite things, and I can't have any of them. None. And I'm not happy about it. Because now I'm like driving around thinking about Chili's, and yes, I may go back to Mexico City just to eat at that Chili's.
So now I want to give you a list of top companies that don't do what you think they do. It's actually quite fascinating.
Yeah. I'm always fascinated. One, I want to hear this, but I always like when you realize, like they do this with food companies, there's only like 2 companies in the world that produce food. It's like Nabisco and like Kraft or something.
Yeah.
And they own everything. They're like, if you see like the pie chart, there's only a handful of companies in the entire world that matter. And everything else is just a subsidiary of that. So you think you're buying like something like kind of local, or you're not. It's like when we were trying to ban Bud Light or whatever. And everyone's like, well, I'm done drinking Bud Light. I'm drinking. Well, that's Anheuser-Busch. I'm done drinking. No, that's Anheuser-Busch too. It's like InBev. It's all owned by the same people, man.
All right, we'll be right back. This is The Club on the Fan.
Dirt and Sprague. Dirt and Sprague.
I'm Dirt. Football has just completely fallen off a cliff.
think they do. Mainly because we stumbled upon this because I didn't really know what Oracle did.
You're like, I know they're worth a lot of money.
I think that every time I see a golfer with his sponsors, like 85% of them, I'm like, no idea. It's probably a financial institution, maybe. I don't know.
For the longest time, was it Phil had that
KPMG?
I had no idea for like
no one
15
did.
years. Like,
we didn't even bother to look it up.
Like, who the hell?
And there's others that stand out. Like someone had Barenberg forever. I'm like, I don't know what Barenberg is.
But I know that they're on Phil's hat, so some of the stuff's easy, like NetJets or whatever. I'm like, all right, but yeah. There's a lot of weird, random stuff out there, and you just have no idea.
Well, the first company that comes to mind, companies that don't do what you think they do, is McDonald's, because McDonald's is really just a land company. Like they own the land, all the land that their restaurants are on.
Okay.
But then they lease the restaurants. So they're really just like. They're just landlords.
So the people leasing them are collectively running McDonald's.
It's
McDonald's
franchise.
is just a renter of land.
Yeah, I mean, technically it's turned into that.
But I'm sure
it didn't
they have
start
some
that
sort
way.
of giant headquarter thing where they
because it's a franchise.
Yeah, it's franchise.
But it, it's turned into this.
In other words, they make more off the land than anything else.
That's how they make their money.
Because I do know McDonald's are a license to print money, but I know a guy that has, I think he's got 2 of them. It is quite expensive to be a franchisee of McDonald's.
But once you get in there, you're in good shape.
Yeah, McDonald's makes money.
Those fats will roll through there all day long.
Like I've wondered that about it seems like every time someone opens a Chick-fil-A, like it's just people lose their ass. Why aren't they must limit.
They limit it.
Who can own those, or they must be really expensive because. Dude, you open one of those, it's just it's a license to print money. There's a Chick-fil-A by my house that dude, it's been open for years, and you can't, no matter what time of the day you show up, there's a line around the freaking corner.
This raises another good question, which we probably can't answer, but what do you think is the least expensive, best franchise model? Because any of the good franchise models are probably just astronomical.
Right? Like, I think at one point of getting into the coffee game was probably the Teas, but now I'm assuming they get into Dutch Brothers or whatever, because that's just like, it's
Dutch
one
Bros.
stand.
But that's not cheap.
I bet you at one point that was a value. And I'm guessing now that they understand their worth. But for a while, how hard is it to put up one stupid stand with like a windmill on it, and then you get like 2 cute teenage people to work it, and
Yeah, but that's become all the rage with Black Rock, and there's a million of those now.
Yeah, so I think that I'm guessing at one point that was the answer, but my guess is the ship may have sailed on that. I don't know. Subway for a while was rocking. I know that, but they John Oliver did a bit on Subway. I guess being a Subway franchisee is a nightmare. Subway grabs you by the balls and squeezes you. Like
is
it is
franchisee a new word? Did you just make that up?
I think it's franchisee.
Franchisee, perhaps?
A franchisee.
A what you meant? A
Hey,
franchise?
who's burgling who?
It's insane.
Yeah, I get it's a really tough spot to be in to own Subways. They do not make it friendly.
Okay, so this was from Reddit. It's a great business school case study question. Figure out what a company actually does, the activity that contributes most to its bottom line, from what it says it does, which is its marketing. One on here is Disney. What they say they do is make movies and theme park experiences for all ages. What they really do, they franchise and IP licensing. They're basically lawyers. Theme parks are huge, but so is retail and consumer products. Their movie business is relatively small and questionably profitable on its own, but the IP contributes to all those other businesses. So the licensing.
Yeah.
Amazon, what they say they do, order anything over the internet direct to your home. What they really do is their business-to-business cloud storage and server management business.
Yeah, because everything else, they don't make anything, essentially. It's all just farmed out at these like giant warehouses. Like I know that.
Facebook/Insta, what they say they do, share videos and photos and connect with your family and friends and internet communities. What they actually do, advertising platform matching consumer data to targeted business marketing.
Makes sense.
And then Google, what they say they do, search engine, suite of productivity services, maps, etc. What they actually do, business-to-business advertising, bidding platform for keywords and targeted business marketing. Never ask a business what they do. Just look at their strongest bottom line incentive, and you'll know exactly what they really do.
By the way, I found a list of like low cost and it's all stuff you haven't heard of.
Well, what do we got? What are the concepts?
So anything that like all the McDonald's and stuff, you're in seven figures. It's so expensive. But like some of these, everything from moving companies. Does that do anything for you? Two men in a truck, you can start for as low as $170,000.
Well, I saw that around the other day. I really thought it was two guys in a truck. It's actually a bunch of guys in a bunch of trucks.
It's a bunch of guys and a bunch of trucks. But you can become a franchisee for as little as $107,000 and minimum cash requirement $80,000.
May I
feel lied to.
May I stay? I also saw them, by the way. Two guys. I saw the truck.
I thought it was two guys in a truck, not a big business that anyone could join.
It really should be two guys in a truck. But do you really need to franchise if you want to own a moving company?
I think the idea is that if you want to stand, I mean, there's probably so many, and you know, and
you're buying the name,
and maybe they provide.
People don't really know who does.
And maybe they provide you trucks and license and insurance bonds and stuff like that. Snap-on Tools. I'm just trying to go with the ones I've heard of.
Ooh, what's the tools one?
Snap-on Tools. You can start for minimum cash requirement $45,000.
And what do I do?
I'm guessing you become a retailer of Snap-on Tools.
I'm okay with that.
I'm trying to look at other ones. A lot of these I haven't even heard of. Like Be Organized. Don't know that one. Oh, Sports Clips.
Oh
If you want to start a Sports Clips, $275.
I think it would be hard to keep your hair. What do they call them? Hairdressers? Stylists. I think it would be hard to keep your stylists.
I mean, $275, and this is on the. I mean, these are all ones that are quote affordable.
I got to pay 275 G's to start a Sport Clips.
Yes, you do, and you have to have in cash.
And I don't know, man. That seems like a rough business. When you go into a barber shop and it's just popping, like they always seem empty, especially the discount ones. Like I don't know, man.
Obviously,
I'm out on that one
some
too.
of these have to work because there's a million Sports Clips. So
no, I get it.
Like you couldn't do this.
Well, you got Justin Herbert backing you now, and he's got a wonderful flow.
Yeah, there's some maid services on here, like Molly Maids, Two Maids.
That's good.
Those are on here. That you could start for as low as $61,000 in cash. Yeah, I mean, and stuff like, have you ever heard Foxy Box Laser?
What's that?
Get it? It's Foxy Box Laser. It's a bikini wax place.
Oh, so it's for waxing your Foxy. Okay,
your Foxy box.
Can we say that?
I don't think so.
What? I don't know.
It's in the name.
It's in the name.
Oh, Mike Rocco. Oh.
The best part. This is my favorite one. So the logo. Look up the logo to the Fancy Box Laser and Wax Bar, because it's a little smiling fox face, but it's a crotch. It's
wow.
The logo is a pair of up tops and a bikini, and the up tops are the eyebrows of the little fox.
At least they're owning it.
We're getting a couple on the text line. Somebody says they know somebody who just opened a Grease Monkey, and they're killing it.
Oh.
Very modest franchise cost.
So is that a like an auto shop, I'm assuming?
Oh, it's like the oil change
yeah.
place.
Hey, Wetzel's Pretzels, great pretzels, $75,000 in cash.
Now that I'm interested in.
Are those stores or just little? Aren't they like little carts?
I think they're like I think that you put them inside things.
Yeah,
I don't
like
think
malls.
they're malls.
I can't get behind that because I just don't feel like malls have much of a future. But maybe I'm wrong.
But yeah, $75,000 to do that. A lot of like Mr. Electric, Mr. Appliance.
RJ says he has a few buddies who own a Papa Murphy's, or has a buddy who owns a Papa Murphy's. Absolutely loaded and never works.
There you go. So I think the idea is like, I think that's the idea, is that if you have the money to do this and you can put it down. I mean, these are kind of proven things. Oh, so this is, now we're getting into, because I keep scrolling up. So these are all, we were talking about 75,000, 100,000. Wingstop.
Okay.
Care to guess cash requirement for Wingstop?
Probably $250,000.
No. Starts $600,000. You need $600,000 in cash to plunk down on a Wingstop, and they're saying total investment is around $859,000 to $1 million, but you have to bring $600,000 in cash.
Isn't the wing game kind of a crowded space? Like a lot of people do that, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you got Buffalo Wild Wings still.
There's two Wingstops over kind of by me, slammed.
Are they?
Yeah, There's one by me, too. I think that when Buffalo Wild Wings, really blew up, I don't know if they priced themselves out, but it seemed like people started complaining about the price and the quality, and that was an opportunity for disruption from the Wingstops of the world.
So what's Wingstop's wing secret?
I think they're just as good and come in cheaper.
And I think it's just a name.
And
right?
they don't do a bar like Buffalo Wild Wings. They don't have screens everywhere and stuff like that.
And so
it's just
I think
go and get the wings.
If you've ever known anyone that opens a restaurant, I know a guy that opened a bar that I really like. Jerry's Tavern. Shout out Jerry's. And one of the problems is food costs. When it's just one little restaurant, it's really hard to order the right amount of food because you order too much and it spoils and rots. And when you only have the buying power of one thing, you can't really buy in bulk. Whereas Wingstop, I'm guessing, not only are you paying the $600,000 in cash, you're getting the name Wingstop, and everyone's like, "Oh, Wingstop, I know that." But my guess is the buying power that comes with being a Wingstop, you get your wings quality controlled, all the sizes, everything. It is probably just turn and burn. There's no they just know, hey, you're ordering from us. This is your cost. And it's just, and they probably look at 1,000 stores and be like, hey, this works.
Well, let's open a Wingstop and a Sport Clips.
I'm trying to see what the cost.
Put them next to each other. You can get some wings while you're waiting for your cut.
There's a lot of tanning business on here. A lot of those.
You could call it sports wings.
See, that's the one I don't get how they
wing
stay
clips.
Open. like the
which one? What'd you say?
Tanning locations.
Yeah, people like that.
That's the one where I'm like, really? That makes money? Jamba Juice is on here. 500 G's to open a Jamba Juice.
I got to tell you, I think that there's a real health and wellness movement. I was waiting for you to pop one on my radar that was kind of a health and wellness.
I'll see if I can find
like a poke bowl spot or like a
salad. Are you talking food or you want?
No, it doesn't have to be food. I just think people are really getting into. I think people are doing a better job
Cold
and
plunge center,
will continue to do a better job of taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
We're starting to learn that, some self-care is important.
I'm trying to see. Ooh. There's some other ones. There's some child training ones. There's a Soccer Stars, child enrichment, child services is the category. And basically it's just indoor practice facilities for kids. You can start that for 40 G's.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. That's not a bad one.
Nope.
Because you're always going to have youth sports.
Yep.
They always need a place to play.
Yep. So I'm guessing that's a pretty simple
How do you make
one.
money?
I'm guessing renting out your facility for practices and on-field time tournaments, things of that.
That's my favorite one so far.
Yeah.
At 40K?
40K. I was just trying to think
What's
of
it called?
Soccer Stars.
I've heard of it. I think they run leagues too, so I think you can enroll your 5, 6, 7, 8, 10-year-old into the leagues that can get run in those facilities.
Yeah, you were asking health. Senior helpers, there's that helps out the olds. That's senior care. $55,000 to start that. No?
I mean, I do love me some olds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We just were saying take care of. There's a lot on here now that I see it. There's a lot of senior care on here. Tons.
Yeah.
How is photography still a thing? Spoiled rotten photography for kids.
Doing family portraits and stuff like that, I bet you can charge a lot for that.
30 G's.
All right, we got to run.
Yeah, we do.
Don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we got to go start a business.
Lots of them, apparently.
Yeah.
Who's ready for a planet parade?
Let's go.
Let's get to Buck.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brian Buckley with this Sports Center update. First on the Fan, Week 3 in the NFL wrapping up right now as the Ravens are hosting the Lions in a battle of 1-1 teams. They are going to halftime tied 14 apiece. The Ravens scoring a touchdown with about 24 seconds left in the half to tie things up. The Lions then made it far enough to attempt a 67-yard field goal that was pulled wide left. In the college game, the Oregon Ducks remain number 6 in the nation after their win over Oregon State in the Civil War. The Ohio State Buckeyes still number 1. Miami moves up 2 spots to number 2 in the country. That pushes Penn State down to number 3. Number 6 Ducks will visit number 3 Penn State this weekend for a whiteout in State College. It's a 4:30 p.m. kick with our coverage starting on Fan at noon. Oregon's a 3.5-point underdog. Meanwhile, a quiet day in Major League Baseball as the Mariners swept the Houston Astros over the weekend to take a 3-game lead in the AL West. Both the Mariners and the Astros idle today. The M's will open a 3-game set against the Rockies Tuesday, while the Astros travel to Sacramento to take on the Athletics. And in the NBA, reports out of Houston that Rockets point guard Fred VanVleet tore his ACL in minicamp and will likely miss the entire NBA season. More sports, scores, and stories in 30 minutes. Ryan Buckley, George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The home of the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson. Weekdays 2 to 3. The Fan Sports Network. 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
compared to other. It is by far the lowest point of entry. Most people just can't plunk down. So I was looking at like Burger King, Wendy's. You have to have millions of dollars to start one of these. And it sounds like if Chick-fil-A likes you and you fit their model,
their profile, if you will,
their profile, and that you have strong management and they believe that you're not going to screw it up, it kind of sounds like Chick-fil-A basically just starts it for you.
Yeah, but you said I had to have 50% I had to take on 50% of the cost?
You have to pay them 15% of the gross sales.
15. I thought you said 50.
Well, it's things. So you pay them 15% of gross sales and 50% of all profits.
50?
50. 50.
Again.
But
they say they're taking on the risk, kind of.
They're taking on the risk.
They are, and it is a good business model. It's just,
and they're very successful.
I feel like I'm a glorified.
You are.
You're a super manager.
Yes, I'm just the manager.
You don't own anything.
No, you do not.
But I do get a cut of the profits.
Yes, you get 50% minus the 15 of the gross, and then you have to pay for your staffing and all that. So,
bro, I'm out on that
sure it's
deal.
profitable, but it is not like owning a McDonald's. But you don't need $3 million.
Shove it, Chick-fil-A.
You got $3 million to open a McDonald's?
Well, shove it, McDonald's. Shove it, all of you. Shove it.
Rich.
I'm opening my sports clips. Yeah. Oh no, that was one of the expensive ones too, wasn't it?
That was a 2 something.
What was the 40 grand one that I liked?
I thought that was Sport Clips. No.
You said there was one for 40 G's, and
there was. It was the Soccer City one.
It was my favorite
Soccer
one.
Stars.
Yeah,
Soccer Stars.
I'm opening that. I'll put a Chick-fil-A in it.
That's the way that
Lease
works.
it to Halloween and shove it up your little kid ass.
I like that basically that as part of the Chick-fil-A is you have to meet our profile and what do they call it? Community standards. I got a good idea.
You know what that means? You have to be a fascist.
That's not very nice.
What?
Need a Muslim?
Well, they're just. I don't think that would probably fly.
Okay.
I think they would like strong Christian values running their chicken.
I'm going to get rid of all the women. I'm going to get rid of all the black guys.
And look, I don't know what Chick-fil-A does at management, but you know what they do? They make a strong bird. I'll tell you that right now. I will put the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich up against anyone's.
They're doo-doo.
And the bread, the little butter bread, that's a quality item. And they're the nicest human beings on the planet.
Yeah, you say thank you, and they're not even allowed to say you're welcome. They have to say, it was my pleasure.
My pleasure, sir.
Dude, if you ever want to see the true duality of human beings, go to a Chick-fil-A and then immediately go to a Popeye's chicken. Yes. And I promise you will leave that Chick-fil-A being like, oh my God, what nice human beings. And you will leave that Popeye's being like,
two very different sides of the same
what
coin.
just happened? And by the way, at Chick-fil-A, you will get your order and it'll be nice in your little bag and it'll be hot. Popeyes, dude, you got a 50-50 chance of getting half of what you ordered. I'll tell you what, though. When the stuff you do get, it's going to be freaking awesome. And they're open on Sundays, and they're open until like 2 in the morning.
All right, we got to wrap it up, and we'll do that next on The Fan. Real quick, I want to tell you about Window Nation. Again, it is September, and today was a very nice day. We've got some nice weather coming this week, but cooler weather is on the way. You know that. And if your windows are drafty or leaky, it would be the time to act. Window Nation has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and they measure 3 times their installers to ensure your windows fit perfectly and keep your home comfortable year-round. They'll install your windows right. If they don't, if something, by the off chance something goes wrong, they all have a lifetime warranty, and they have over 1,500 window styles and colors to choose from. So they're all custom built as they partner with Milgard here locally for builder grade windows. It's just, I tell you what, it's just high quality. So if you need windows, the cooler weather is coming, want to save you money on your energy bills, it is time to replace them because right now at Window Nation, you can get 50% off any window style that you choose of those 1,500. Any style, 50% off. Doesn't matter how many windows you need, you get half off. And if you don't have all the money to plunk down, you'll pay nothing until 2027 because 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 2 years is also a part of the offer, as well as a little throw-in, Portland Thorns tickets or a VIP experience to the Thorns if you replace all of your windows. So schedule a fast free estimate right now with Window Nation. Get on their sked by calling 866-90NATION or visiting windownation.com. License number OR 249065.
Seahawks football is on the